worse.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Wait, which campaign is this? Is this still
Tyranny of
the
Dragons.
Tyranny of Dragons? Yeah. Nice,
So
nice,
it was a lot of
nice.
fun. It was really, really stressful. I stressed about it for a solid fucking month. Because I was just like, I thought about it one day after we'd played, and I was like, I don't know. It was after they killed the Black Dragon. I was like, I don't know how the cult would react to that. Like, you guys didn't just kill him. He didn't even get to execute his plan. You surprised him. So I was like, how would I mean, they're not going to just throw a blue or a green, at them going, oh, here's the next step up, guys. No, you guys proved yourselves a threat. You had to be shut down. And
Just
You
die.
went down oh so gracefully.
you guys did, I mean, 270 some odd damage over like 4 rounds that you guys stayed up, and it was impressive. Like I said, I was impressed.
It wasn't bad. Got a little concerned, just like, oh no.
Understandable, understandable.
But yeah, hopefully we don't get bodied by an adult dragon in this campaign. I don't think we've pissed Strahd off
Surprise!
that bad.
Suddenly dragon.
Well, no, apparently not yet. We'll see, I
The
guess.
worst we've done for him is ignore him.
Yeah.
A
That's
lot.
very true. Yeah, you guys have been like ghosting him and leaving him on red for the past however
No,
long
we'll be there. I swear. Like, just a couple days. Wanders off to the next side quest.
Well, it's less wandering off to the next one and more completing all of them that we're currently on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of somebody texting being like, "You're on your way, right?" And you're like just out of the shower going, "Yeah, I'm pulling up."
Almost there.
Yep.
Not
Pull it up
just
right
out of the
now.
shower, you're just chilling on your bed and your towel
Right.
completely dry.
Yep.
Watching Netflix.
Oh man, I'm on my way. I promise. This traffic is terrible. I'm on charge.
Alright, next episode.
Where am I going again? I forgot. Shit.
What was the address?
Dude, you live 3 doors down. How did you get that?
It's like you live 3 doors
Talent.
down. How are you 5 hours late?
Skill and talent. Sorry about all the clicking. If you guys can hear that, that's
Nope.
Nope.
okay.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think we can.
Good, because it's a lot of clicking.
Clicking intensifies.
I mean, I can't hear it through your headphones, but I can vaguely hear it from the other room, which is funny.
Works.
Yeah.
Works for me. Well then, all right. I am just about ready to set up because I've just been checking my maps and trying to remember what the heck we were doing.
We went
But I
back to
think
Kresk, and we walked
You
into the
did.
Burgomaster's house at the end of last session because we were finally here to give him his dress and to make sure they don't get murdered, and then whatever else happens.
That's right. That's right. Excellent, excellent. Yes. Sorry, I don't know why, but my voice has been going. I hope everybody else recovered from whatever it is that you guys had.
Pretty much.
Working. No, I'm kidding.
Mostly.
Are you recovered from working? I didn't realize it was possible to be recovered from working.
No, it's not.
It's called death.
Right, yes. The good old sleep when you're dead.
Good old death.
Sounds about right. Alrighty then. So since we only have technically 3 hours because everybody's got to get to sleep.
At least
And I am sorry about I am sorry about the weird
Confusion.
schedule.
I figured out. I knew what you meant. Like, I understood this morning when I woke up. I was like, all right, cool. That was last night for them, so they would mean today, so that means tonight. Cool,
No,
got it.
It didn't
And then I went right back to sleep.
Yep. I'm so sorry.
Time zones.
Yeah, sorry. I sent that message like literally last night as I was falling asleep. And it did not even occur to me that it wouldn't have. Yeah. Anyway.
Already.
So you guys are in Kresk. So as far as I recall, you guys arrived after
Side.
sunset. Yes. Yeah, you guys arrived after sunset, I believe, because it had taken you the entire day to traverse all the way back. So it is evening, and the weather has been gradually worsening as you were on your way up in elevation once again. So you arrived just at the precipice of yet another snowstorm, but you were ushered inside the gates, recognized for your many good deeds last time that you were in Kresk, or at least most of you. Seraph, they did not recognize you, but you are thankfully among people
We
of...
vouched for him.
Yeah.
He's with
He
us.
said he's okay, I guess.
Gee, thanks.
Yes. Regretfully being vouched for, and you headed straight to the Burgermaster's house, which is thankfully warm and dry, and you were immediately met by the Burgermaster's wife, who ushered you in, from what I remember. You and your motley crew of
Crazy people.
various...
Unfortunates.
Yep. Exactly. So it is late evening at this point. You guys are probably cold from your travels. I believe aside from Carter, nobody really has winter clothes, although... Yeah. Yeah,
Nope,
because I remember,
know.
Carter, you made that wolf pelt jacket for colder travels, but aside from that, y'all are probably, relatively
A little bit
boggled down.
chilly.
Yep. Yep.
What's a tidbit nipply out there?
A little bit. But that's fine, that's fine. You're inside of a house now, so death is not immediately impending as the Burgermaster's wife ushers you inside. I am trying to take up time while I try to remember her frickin' name.
You didn't look it up?
I didn't. I looked up everything except for that. Anyway.
Wasn't Lydia, was it?
Was it Lydia? I don't remember.
I think
There's
that was
so
the
many
other
wives.
mistress.
Other.
Yeah, I think that was the other burgomistress in Valaki. Oh, Anna was her name.
Anna, that was it. Yeah.
Anna, yes. Anna, and Felix is the burgomaster, who is currently not inside of the house. So it's up to you. But Anna rushes you inside and looks quite happy to see you. Looks between all of you kind of expectedly, like she's excited, but you can probably tell pretty easily that she's excited for a different reason. She may not have anticipated you coming back at all, since you have taken quite a while.
Such confidence.
A few days. We
You did.
It was a bit of a journey.
we got distracted. Sorry, but and he'll reach in to his bag of holding and pull out the wedding dress that he has repaired. Mission successful.
We also might have fixed the wine problem. Maybe.
That is
Perhaps.
that is good news indeed. But forgive me if I'm going to be focusing on something of
yeah, that
a
one
little
first.
bit more immediacy. Yes, thank you so much. If I can simply have a look. And she kind of reaches for the wedding dress expectantly, almost seeming to not believe that it's real.
Gives it just like, here you go, Australia.
Thank you so much. This is the first time I've seen such a... Oh, it's in quite good condition. Yes, perhaps this will do. And she kind of picks it up and walks away with it, beginning to kind of shake it out and try to see it in its full... And you did fix the many moth-eaten holes on it. It's not,
it's not any fancier, but
yeah, it's not
it's
any
at least
fancier.
whole.
Yep. Anybody else doing anything while she is kind of putzing around and beginning to mutter to herself?
Not really.
Standing
All right.
around awkwardly, I guess.
All right. Well, you stand around. You stand around awkwardly for about maybe 5 minutes before she seems to almost remember that you are still there, and immediately turns around, drapes the dress very carefully over one of the chairs, and turns around and claps her hands together and goes, "Well, This is good news indeed. If there's anything at all I can do, I was just preparing to make dinner, but I'm afraid Felix isn't back yet. I presume you want to talk to him. Perhaps we'll need to take this up to the abbot tonight. Well, maybe not tonight. Maybe the following morning. No, tonight is better. No, I'm not sure. Regardless, if you'd like some food.
Do you
Would it
want
be any
us to
less
take it
knowing?
tonight?
Well, you did procure it, and of course me and him could potentially take the dress up. Yes, of course. But since you were the ones who took it, and
Well, we can bring it to him. I mean, we kind of wanted to get a better look at whoever that was anyway, right?
right.
I
And
guess.
she seems to be a little bit nervous at this, and kind of wrings her hands together a bit, and then steps closer and leans in and goes, "To be quite honest with you, I've not actually met the abbot until about a week ago. It's quite that close up. He usually doesn't venture down. And
Right.
Felix is the only one who's actually been up to the abbey. So it's I personally would feel much better if he had escorts, but I understand that we've already asked quite a lot of you.
No, not a problem. Yeah. Oh man, I'm still exhausted, aren't I? That was
I
yesterday.
believe you
Am
are. You
I?
did not sleep.
Yep.
Yep.
Nope.
Maybe tomorrow.
He kind of stretched and goes, "Ah, so which way we heading? Should we go up there and? I mean, he's not here. You said he's up there right now, right? Should we go meet him there?"
Are
Uh,
you
Well,
still
It's
fit
kind of
for
like a
travel?
question. Oh, trust me, I could do this for another 2 or 3 days before it really starts to slow me down.
It's definitely not concerning at all.
You
what
just
if
don't know your own limits.
it's like he's mean and
Oh,
tries to kill us like everything here?
I mean, that is a possibility. It's definitely.
Possibility. It's probably a definite.
We still have like 3-4 days, don't we? Can't we just go tomorrow?
I mean, we could, but where's the concern is where Felix is right now. Do we have to? Should we go and assist him
um,
now, or do we go and assist him tomorrow? Like,
and
is he
Anna
going to
kind
be
of
home
pipes up.
tonight?
Anna kind of pipes up from she's been setting plates down onto the table for all of you and beginning to scoop out something that kind of resembles a stew, but she turns around and goes, "Oh, Felix is he should be back by nightfall. He's simply taking care of a few grave robbery issues on the other side of town. He should be
Oh,
back shortly."
does grave robberies coincide with any sort of undead? Have you been seeing an increase in undead? People making undead.
I hope not.
Undead, and she kind of looks between all of you, looking quite shocked at the prospect
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
idea of this.
I
No,
mean,
no, I
When?
don't.
Well,
Balaki has
that's
a
actually.
problem.
I am honestly surprised that I'm hearing about grave robbery and it's not somebody for necromancy. That is
Right?
legitimately shocking to me.
Well, I'm honestly unsure. We have not had any insurgence of any undead. This village is relatively safe. No,
Blessed.
the grave robbery has been a long-standing problem, actually. It's something of a recurring theme here. It's been happening for many years now. Usually not an issue. We assume that it might be something that's perhaps digging them up and eating them, wild animals, maybe.
That sounds horrible.
Yes, that's part of the reason why we have a walled-in family cemetery out back, although not everybody can afford such luxuries.
I mean,
And you do remember when you guys came in through here when their son was dead, and you were out there helping
digging.
dig the grave and everything. It was in fact like a walled-in, like almost garden. You assumed it was a garden, but it was like a cemetery plot. Um, with like 8-foot high walls, stone walls surrounding it on all sides, and like a locked door.
All right then. So aside from dinner, what's our plan for this evening?
Day where it's not cold.
Yeah, I agree on that one.
Yes, of course, you're welcome to stay here any time, and in fact, for everything you've done for us, literally anything you ask, we will happily provide.
I
In
don't know.
fact, I
Hmm?
mm, in fact, I do believe Felix mentioned that you had commissioned some sort of weapon last time you were here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the silver rapier.
Yes, I believe he has that locked up upstairs. Um, I'll ask him to get it when he returns.
Great then.
I mean, Carter could just go get it himself, but that might be rude.
I mean, yeah, I suppose he could.
Right then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
hang
mean,
out.
yeah.
Just hanging out. Yeah,
Just
Savid at
just
this
waiting,
point.
I guess.
Yeah, Savid at this point just kind of comes in and not dropping down, but there's like a bench on the side of the window, and he just kind of flops down onto it and just goes basically catatonic.
Yeah. Um, that's actually a really good idea. And Craig's just sort of gonna sit back in whatever chair he's sitting in. I'm gonna just close my eyes. If y'all need me, just he passes out.
Alright. Um,
All right. So
is
for
is there an
the sake,
upstairs?
there is an upstairs.
Is
Are
there?
you?
Am I allowed to go up there?
Do you want to ask Anna
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So Des will wander over to her and just, do you have like upstairs area?
Oh yes, that's where my room is, and our son's room is.
Ah,
And she kind of
just
glances up, and you haven't noticed before, but you can see as she points it out up the open stairs, because they have kind of like an open landscape kind of house here. It's not that large enough to have multiple rooms. But you can just see the face of what looks to be a young boy ducking out of view as your gaze turns towards that.
just the rooms.
Yes, just our room and his space. Why? Did you need something?
No, I was just wondering if you had like a window up there I could look out and
A
see
window.
like further.
Yes, there should be a window up there if you'd like to go. And she kind of looks really awkward for a moment
Mhm.
and goes, Ilya, my son, he's a little bit skittish, so don't take offense if he runs away.
Okay.
And then she goes,
Um,
well, yeah, yes, of course, you're free to go up there if you'd like. I'll just be here. The stew is ready now, so anytime any of you want to eat, you're welcome to it.
I think Cray went to sleep. He can
Thought
eat
he
later.
already ate.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I thought he'd
You just
already
like chug the stew and just like
And then
flopped
pass out.
over.
Pretty much. That's exactly
Fair.
how I had thought it in my mind.
Fair enough. You want to head upstairs, Des?
Yeah, she'll kind of just carefully creep up the stairs and then like peek into his room and try to see if he's there.
So when you, if you head up the stairs, and there's not so much rooms as there are just partial wall divisions up there. You peek your head up, and you can see immediately above you the kind of, oh gosh, I'm forgetting my words all of a sudden. You know that rib cage rooftop thing where it's not
Mm.
like a flat roof, well, not like a
Mhm.
flat ceiling, but like, the rafters.
Yeah.
You can see that immediately above you, what seems to be supporting like a thatched roof. Um, much like the interior of a ship that's been flipped upside down, I suppose.
Yeah.
But they're heavy, like not rugs, but cloths strewn across it, and several rugs hanging on the walls to kind of help with insulation. Immediately to your left, you see a slightly darker, slightly larger room that appears to have a larger bed as well, and it is just filled to the brim with all sorts of like drawers and various stacks of cloth and things that seem to be kept in there, and you assume that this is probably the burgomaster's bedroom, for lack of a better
Probably.
word. And then to the right, you can kind of partially blocked off by a wall, though not a full door, is a more of like an open space, and it seems to house like a child's crib pushed off into the corner, probably no longer in use since he's grown up, and a smaller kind of bed with lots of tossed over blankets and a couple of toys strewn across the floor. For the time being, the child himself is nowhere to be found unless you'd like to make a perception check.
Yeah, I'll look for him. She'll just like peek in, just hello.
Make a perception check, I guess.
Neat. Terrible.
Yeah.
You start
You-
singing ding dong, I know you can hear me.
you get the feeling that wherever this kid is, if he's still up here, he's trying to be very still as this, tiefling with skull makeup on her face has poked her face over the top of the stairs. There is a window though on kind of the left side where the burgomaster's bedroom is. Um, it's a round window, in fact, kind of like a porthole window.
Okay. Yeah, she'll just look around and then go over to the window and just stand in front of it and look out.
Okay. From that perspective, you'd probably see, the rest of Kresk kind of sprawled out before you. However, first of all, it's not really a large village. Second of all, it is beginning to snow quite heavily. And third of all, you can see from this perspective that most of the village is, in fact, um, like it's full of trees. It's not so much that the houses are packed together. They're more spread out, and most of the land that they have seems to be dedicated to either they're exporting trees or, they need trees to continuously build up their walled interior or whatever. But you can't really
Probably.
see, yeah, you can't really see that much around them. However, a little bit further in the distance, um, kind of obscured. Yeah, it would be mostly obscured because of the weather and the snowstorm, but you can kind of see something sticking out of the side of the mountain, um, that should be immediately in front of you that almost looks like a structure, but it's really difficult to make out.
Weird.
But it's up there. It's not like ground level. It seems to be almost clinging to the side of the mountain.
Okay. She'll just turn around and like sit on the floor in front of where the window was,
Mhm.
and just like absently play with one of the toys on the floor and just like, it's very cold. Does it always snow here? And just like letting him respond if he wants to.
Okay.
But she'll just sit and
Okay.
talk to the air if he doesn't, I guess.
Roll a roll a persuasion check.
Great at those. Definitely. Yep. Great.
You roll me another perception check as well, just for funsies,
Oh my
because of
goodness.
where you are now.
Rolls tonight have been
Better.
fire.
There we go.
Yay.
You never get a
Above us
response.
10.
You never get a response, but you swear that as you're sitting there and the way that you're looking towards the window, so you're kind of leaning against the bed of the burgomaster and his wife that's stacked with blankets, and you swear you feel movement somewhere inside of that blanket pile. And you get the feeling that probably the kid is hiding somewhere in there. And he can probably hear you quite well, though he's not responding. Anybody else doing anything?
Nope, not really.
Yeah, Carter's just enjoying some of that chowder soup or whatever it was.
Gray is
Yeah, she will.
unconscious, scratching his belly.
All right. Oh yeah, eventually probably Anna will sidle up to Seraph and just kind of very awkwardly go, I don't believe we've met before.
No, we haven't. But I was kind of told of what happened around here. So I
Ah,
have a general idea.
I see. Well, thank you for helping them if you did help them. And then she kind of glances at Carter, who's still chowing down. And goes, what happened to the other one? The one that helped us with our fields?
He he answered a higher calling, I guess you could say. He's doing his whole druid thing.
Ah, oh, all right. Yes, I understand. Then you can tell she doesn't understand at all, but she's just being like, okay.
Sure. Sounds
Yes.
Sure.
sounds
Druid
like a
thing.
thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I don't really get it, but I mean, it seemed like it made him happy, so you know.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it was of his own volition instead of fate taking him, at the very least. That is always good. All right, unless anybody else wants to do anything, she will gladly provide blankets for you guys to sleep. Probably not upstairs because it's actually more cramped than it is downstairs, but she will bring down as many blankets as necessary and like pillows and stuff and lay them out on the floor. So, if anybody wants to be a pal and bodily move Cray onto a blanket, that can easily be done.
Just throw one over his head. Just there you go.
He's gonna have a huge kink in his neck when he wakes up.
Hey,
Yeah.
it's not the first time he slept in a chair,
Fair enough.
intentionally and accidentally.
All right. Eventually Anna will retire to bed as well. However, if all of you are sleeping downstairs,
Dust will come back down at some point, but she will just continue to just look out the window. Like, it's already like nightfall, right?
it is, yeah.
Right. She just kind of like watches warily out the window for a
Okay.
couple more hours.
Okay. Nothing seems to change except for more snow, honestly. You can kind of track it as it's piling up, and very quickly the tops of the trees just essentially become white, as do the tops of houses, and you can see less and less. To the point where probably you are no longer able to see whatever structure you were able to see in the distance
I
on the
need
side
to
of that cliff.
look up 1 sec. No higher than half your proficiency. Well, I am completely out of 3rd and 4th level spells for some reason. Wow.
Because
Because
we've
you
had a
guys
day.
I know. That was sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, I spent all of my spells using sending, so I can't use sending again.
Oh no.
I guess I will just watch then.
Okay. All right. How late are you going to stay up this?
Um, for a while, she's kind of concerned about the fact that he has not come back yet.
Okay. I would say then, well, the rest of your group is downstairs, and Anna eventually, she like cleans up the kitchen and then heads upstairs, and you can uh, probably hear her putting the boy to bed, who she retrieves from the bed behind you eventually. Having also heard him shifting around, he's probably like fallen asleep in there. But you gather it's about midnight, and Anna has fallen asleep in the child's bedroom, probably like comforting him because he's kind of terrified of you, just a little bit. You're not sure. Maybe he's just generally terrified of everything. It's hard to tell.
Maybe. Yep, definitely that.
Yep. But around midnight, you do hear the door downstairs click open. And you do hear gentle footsteps.
She'll get up and go downstairs and quietly just like, oh good, you're not dead.
Flix turns around and he looks haggard and quite pale with dark circles under his eyes. And it seems that he's probably just like Anna, probably presumed you were dead because the first time he sees you, he starts quite a bit and he's just like, oh, it's you. I've never been more happy to see such a terrifying visage. Not to I apologize. That was rude of
Thanks.
me. The dress, the dress. You managed to retrieve the dress.
We did.
Oh, thank
I mean,
goodness.
you were gone and it's very snowy and cold, and we figured we got time so we can do it tomorrow if you want to come with, I guess.
Yes, of course. If you would be so kind as to, well, I wouldn't want to presume. It's quite a
Ah,
trek up to the abbey, but yes, if you have the dress, of course, we will go first thing in the morning. The
I
time
mean,
for
if
the
nothing
abbot is.
else, the suspense and like confusion about who the hell that guy is, it yeah, that's worth it. We'll come with.
Right. No, I do appreciate it. I
Are you
I
okay?
apologize for not being here to meet you. No, I'm fine. I just it's been a long week. We kind of assumed that you had perished on your way.
We
But you're
got
here now.
I appreciate all this confidence these people have in us.
Mhm.
It's Barovia. Oh, can't hear Jeep.
me.
Oh, there
Are
we go.
you? Wait, can't hear
Oh,
Cade.
yeah, I can't
It's
hear
right
Kate
down.
either.
It was first me, and then it was you.
You're still really quiet because I think your mic's.
Mic's
There you
up.
There it is.
Yep, there we go.
Sorry.
Okay. Um, yeah, he kind of begins to take off his own fur coat that's just piled with snow. You can tell that he walked from probably quite a ways away. Um, he looks around at the rest of your group piled on the floor, sleeping here and there. Seems to exhale, very relieved, and eventually looks back to you and nods and smiles and says, "Really, I cannot begin to thank you for what you've done for us. Hopefully, this will be enough to fulfill the our end of the deal
I
in return
mean,
for his life."
I hope so. Everything about this is a little weird. Like, why he randomly decided to bring your son back and wanted a wedding dress for it, and otherwise he's gonna undo it, even though it was like important to save him. I don't get it.
To be honest, I don't really know the machinations of that man's mind, but I have not been one to question it. He has been here far longer than I have, and although I don't understand him, I also don't presume to question his ways. He has, after all, done quite a bit for our burg. His
Yes.
ways of going about it are sometimes a bit strange, but I think that a wedding dress to pay for my son's returned life is, well, still a kind deed.
I guess. Still weird, but
Indeed.
yeah, if nothing else, we can at least see what this guy is. I don't know.
Burgermaster looks a little bit concerned. He's probably sat down at this point and he's poured himself a little tiny shot of whiskey, but is like sipping it, clearly rationing. as opposed to taking shots, and he kind of steeples his fingers together, glances at you a bit worriedly, and says, I do not think you should prod about that. I understand that your innate curiosity, but he is puzzled many, and many who have come to this place before you.
How do you know he's not dangerous, though?
Well, suppose I don't. I suppose that everybody here is dangerous in their own way. You are all technically dangerous, though you have chosen to help us, and for that we are very grateful.
Only for bad people.
Yes, that's the ideal, isn't it? I don't honestly know, but he has never directly harmed anybody in the city, and in fact, well, this was many years ago, but when he initially arrived, I heard many tales of miracles that he performed on the sickly that were here. Not much of that
Hmm.
happening now, but don't really know.
Yes. Was he different when he first came than he is now?
Well, I only know through hearsay. My grandfather was burgomaster when he initially arrived here, so I know only through their tales of what he was like, but to be honest, we don't see enough of him for me to really judge. They say that he was always youthful and a little bit odd in his manners of speech, but we are not really ones to judge, especially living here amongst our walls as we do.
Yeah.
I don't really know if he has changed. Perhaps he was always strange, and the tales of kindness and powers have just been exaggerated through folktale.
Well,
I mean, he
well,
did bring your kid back. I don't
right?
think that's much of an exaggeration.
I mean,
Well, yes, I agree. Oh, I didn't know you were awake. I
Carter's just like
apologize.
tuned up. You could just see his face in the blanket.
we are just like sitting in the kitchen talking, and they're
Yeah.
like on the floor.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's fair.
essentially.
But I mean, okay. I mean, we'll do our best not to make anything bad. But
For what it's worth, I don't think that he is aligned with the devil
you sure?
back towards the east. Well, initially, from what my grandfather tells me, so take this with a grain of salt, but he was not a foolish man. Apparently, initially, this person, this creature that arrived to take over the abbey, uh, initially planned to work against the devil himself. I know not what happened of that plan. Perhaps he had failed one too many times, as did many adventurers before you all. I'm honestly not sure, but he has never displayed any dark powers, and he has never, well, ever since he's arrived, we've not had any incursions of vampires or vampire spawn in our city, so I do believe that counts for something, at least.
That is a positive.
Count our blessings, you know.
Yeah. I mean, all right. I guess I'll talk to the rest of them. I think they wanted to at least like not interrogate's not the right word, but like talk to him and see what he was about. But if he's been only nothing but good or at least not bad, I don't want to ruin anything.
Right, right, of course, of course. I will, of course, take you with me, for you must be thanked for your generosity. Perhaps, though, maybe don't antagonize him
We'll
Too much.
try. I unfortunately can't promise anything of everybody.
Gray snores loudly from his nest of blankets.
Exactly.
The Burger Master kind of loses a few shades of a few shades of blood at this, but seems to
No,
steel himself.
I'll
So-
talk to them. We'll make sure that we don't mess anything up, especially if everything's been okay here, and that's kind of a rarity around here.
Right. Thank you, Horned One. I do appreciate it.
Horned one.
One.
Well, I guess go to bed, and then we'll go in the morning.
Yes, of course. I get a good night's rest. Let us know if we can help you with anything. And he kind of downs the last of his whiskey, whatever remains on the bottom, stands up, and eventually kind of wearily makes his way upstairs, up the creaking stairs. The fireplace is at this point almost gone out, but the room is relatively warm if you want to bed down
Yeah, she'll
next to your friends.
put her blanket close to the fireplace and kind of curl up.
All
You
right.
don't you don't think he has something to do with grave robbing, do you?
I mean, honestly, maybe he does weird things.
I didn't want to ask him in case it offended, but
Right.
I don't know how to feel about this.
I don't like him much in general, but like I said to Felix, I don't want to mess up the one place that seems okay around here. Although,
Yeah,
if he is.
I don't want to be responsible for him taking the son away again.
Yeah. And if he is stealing bodies or stealing things from bodies, that's really weird. I don't know. I figure we'll talk in the morning, like, if we should question him or leave it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Well, unless you'd like to
Well.
continue your midnight discussions. Anytime. I'll leave it up to you guys. If you want to keep talking, that's great. Otherwise,
I don't know. Besides the fact that we need to all discuss, I don't know. Des doesn't know what to think of all of this. It's definitely weird. Especially with Crave before saying that he was like good but twisted in a way. That's why I was wondering if he has changed over the years, but he doesn't seem to know.
Guess we'll find out in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Uncomfortable sleep time. Because this place is weird.
yay, Barovia!
Right?
That's an
Yay!
understatement. All right. As you descend back into your uncomfortable sleep, in the morning you all wake up. Perhaps Des, you a little later since you did stay up a little later. But you wake up to a relatively bright morning, honestly, and it's kind of surprising because you're sure that surely not here, no sunlight. But as you all come to, you do realize that out through the window, it's almost like the entire town is basically snowed in. And even with the low sunlight that the Barovia gets, the amount of white that's reflecting everything kind of amplifies it. This is probably the brightest you've ever seen any place. Although it's covered, it comes with its downsides.
Right.
Everything's covered
It's
with a blanket of snow.
sunshine. Except it's freezing.
Yeah.
Because snow.
Then you'll get a sunburn.
Snowburn.
That's
Nothing wrong with
Snowburn.
snow.
That's an actual
It's possible.
thing,
Yeah, sure
Anybody
is.
who has
Um,
gone snowboarding can tell you what snowburn feels like. It is no bueno.
every time, right under the goggles.
Yep.
Uh,
Why do you think they
Awesome.
but
always
yeah,
cover their face?
man, I always have to remind myself to do that, but I never do. I like to feel the wind on my nose. Anyways, um, yeah, you all come to in the morning. Anna is already awake, as is Felix. It seems that they've also not slept super well due to their extreme, nervousness about what's coming up.
What are you
You
talking
come
about? I
to it.
slept great.
Yeah, you slept fantastically.
You slept like you
Um,
didn't have a baby to lose.
I don't know
yep,
what's at stake.
that's true. Nobody's
Feel like-
really.
Did we not tell you anything?
I don't
No,
know,
you
did you?
probably
You're
would
you're
have.
just here.
You've just joined us for this. I
Right.
thought we explained, like, we filled you in on it on the walk back.
I feel like we at least told you something about it because it's really weird to just be like, all right, now we're going here
I mean, I'm
with
sure
a
it
wedding
was
dress.
exaggerated and
He's just
mildly
lingering.
incorrect, but
He's just lingering.
You know, she's just like, might as well figure out where this is going.
interesting.
I'm not concerned whatsoever.
No.
No, I remember us talking about him because we were talking
You
about
did,
the
you did.
celestial. Yeah, and that's how we brought up the Azamar thing, and we were talking about that.
Racism.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's D&D. It's the best place to explore.
Exactly.
Accidental
Right,
racism.
Um, but yeah, you guys wake up. Anna has prepared what amounts to kind of breakfast. They're still low. It's winter here, so they're not, rolling in fruits and stuff, but there's large chunks of hearty bread, some butter, and a lot of tea prepared. And she's made enough for all of you, essentially pulling out all of the stops. Um, as you all come to, Des is probably still sleeping, but you can very clearly see whoever wakes up first, that next to Des, as she's sleeping by the fireplace, there is also a child of about maybe 9 to 10 years old who is like crouching on the ground next to her, and his finger is about an inch from her horns, and he is looking like he's fighting real hard the urge to just poke him.
You can.
What is
I feel like I would be the first one to wake up, or Cray.
Yeah.
One or the other. If
So
Cray was the first,
to just knock out.
yeah.
I feel like
But
if
he
I
also
was
had
if I like wake
recover.
up and I see this, I'm just gonna like, if you ask her, she'd be more than happy to allow you to at least touch her horns.
Child's head immediately swivels, glancing at you, not having realized that you'd woken up. His eyes are huge like platters, and he just goes, huh, and just like stands up and bolts back to the stairs,
Oh.
almost falling onto his face a couple of times in the
Uh,
scramble back up to the second floor.
Certainly do have a way with children, don't you, Seraph?
I was never really good with them.
No.
Those take a special kind, and I believe that.
Hannah kind of chuckles from the kitchen, and she goes, "No, no, no, don't worry yourselves. That's just him. He's always been quite a skittish boy, and to be honest, ever since he's well, anyway,
Yeah.
it's been a hard time for him. Don't mind him. It's not personal, I'm sure."
If he needs somebody to talk to about that, kind of like looks over towards Des. We do have someone who's been through something similar. Might be able to sympathize a little bit. She's a good listener.
Anna kind of thinks about this for a moment and goes, "Thank you. I might ask her of that. But regardless, for now, don't worry yourselves. Let's just focus on what's ahead. Felix tells me that you'll be heading up soon.
Pretty much whenever everyone's ready, we'll be making our way uptown.
Right. And she immediately bustles off to the second floor and comes back down holding two packages. One of them looks to be a very exquisitely wrapped, like it's wrapped in a burlap to protect it, or probably more like a heavy leather bag. But she kind of unwraps it briefly to show you that it is the wedding dress packaged on the inside. She's taking care to like make sure that it's protected from the elements. And then she also brings down another package, which is also wrapped up, but it is longer. And it is, she presents this to probably Cray.
Nice.
And she
What's
goes,
this?
"This, I believe, is what you had requested from Felix. He got it out last night, but didn't want to wake you up, disturb you. So I presume you'll want it first thing in the morning. I believe it should be your weapon."
No, yes, I don't use the little fancy ones. They're weird. Carter, I think this is yours.
Wake up.
Craig just sort of adjusts the big great swords on his back. I do appreciate it, though. I do quite like fine weaponry. Can I examine it? How does
Yeah.
it look like it was well made?
Well
It
coded.
looks like, sure. Roll me a perception check to examine the rapier.
19.
Yeah.
Don't know why it's a disadvantage. Oh, I'm no longer exhausted, guys. I slept.
Oh yeah, you're no longer exhausted. Either way, it's the first one. But yeah, it looks like it was not poorly made. Whoever made this did clearly have a lot of experience. It looks like the quality of the material is not the best, given the fact that you're in the middle of motherfucking nowhere, Barovia. They probably used whatever resources they had to do this, and it's not like prime craftsmanship, not elven craftsmanship that would be expected or anything, but it's workable.
Dwarven craftsmanship.
Nice. He gives
Yeah.
her a smile and hands it to Carter when he comes by. It's
Carter
good.
will just slide it onto his waist.
Chic.
Would Carter know
Did you
that
get both of the rapiers, or did you have
He has the
It
sun
was just
sword.
the one. Yeah, he has the
just the
sun
one?
sword.
Okay,
Yeah, he had the two rapiers. One of them was magic because of my infusion. That's
that's
what he
right.
was using, but that went away when I got Ketchi.
That's right.
It's
That's right. That's
just
right.
been flying around and, eventually just land on somebody and start like cleaning itself while laying on your lap in the most inconvenient way possible.
As do all cats.
Probably starts bugging Seraph once bugging Des doesn't work.
I'll just start petting it.
That's what he wants. You're re-encouraging the bad behavior. Right then. So, to the weirdo.
Yeah, he sounds like a bundle of joy.
Oh, he's very strange. But, Barovia.
Good point.
Nah, Crow's, I'm awake. Hello. What?
What? What? Huh? What?
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 She just like sits straight up, like suddenly. What?
Everything all right?
Yep. Great.
Right then.
Are you sure?
Oh, everybody's awake. Oh, are you waiting for me?
Oh, I guess so. But, I mean, we're not in any hurry, so just get yourself some food, get yourself ready. Let's get on with the show.
She just like clambers out of the blankets and goes over and grabs some bread and then looks at everybody just before we go. Can we like us talk?
Sure.
I guess in the snow because I
Sure.
don't know where else to go.
Yeah,
I
Anna,
guess.
having heard this, like quickly picks up her mug of coffee that she's carrying and just goes, "I'll just go upstairs and get Felix, make sure that he's ready." Then just kind of takes a hint and just disappears up the stairs.
Just for a little bit.
Sorry,
Be
that's
ready in a
just
minute.
nothing
No
personal,
worries.
just party
No
business.
worries. Right.
And
Sabine
she just-
eventually comes up and like slings himself across the wooden table and begins to also munch down.
Right. She looks very pointedly at Cray. So
Yes.
we need to talk about what we're gonna do with this guy, who's weird. But on the other hand, he apparently does a lot of really good things for this town and hasn't done like bad things. And if we fuck things up, the town might get
Fucked
attacked
up.
by vampires and other stuff. But because I know we wanted to go talk to him and like figure out what his deal is, but I don't want to make things terrible.
All right. I mean, do you
I
think
don't
it's something
know.
we're like to do? Are we
I
probably
mean,
gonna make things terrible?
us probably. We did it to Velaki, or at least we. Okay, we didn't do it. It wasn't our fault. But Velaki afterward shortly was not good.
I mean, you're right. It did go from bad to worse, but
Uh, like, what if we go and we like talk to him and like interrogate him like we do, and
me,
then he gets mad and tries to kill us, and then we kill him, and then we kill the town.
I don't think anybody was planning on interrogating anyone. I mean,
I thought we were gonna go like talk to him because he's weird, and you said that he was like maybe not all good.
okay, so all I know is that when I did my little thing with the magic tattoo,
Mm-hmm.
he was celestial, but not. So that's all I know. And I don't know what more we're gonna find out by asking him. I've been kind of at a loss for
Is
that as well.
someone celestial but not?
I
He
was just
snaps
gonna
his
ask you
fingers
that.
and points and goes, "See, that's the question, and that's what's got us
Right?
baffled." But it doesn't mean that, we have to find that answer right now. Because you're right, don't want to
Yeah.
ruin a bad thing or end up
A
ruining a
bad
good
thing.
thing. Yeah. I want to destroy
But
the bad things. I don't want to poke
right.
up the good
But
ones.
then Carter also last night. What if he's the one behind like the grave robbings? That's pretty bad.
It is. I don't know. I really don't. I don't. I pretend like I have all the answers. I really don't.
Why not? That would
Because
make
there's a
things so
lot
much
of
easier.
questions, and I think the only way we're going to be able to do it is just to do it and see what happens next. I think if we go in without the intention of pissing him off or being rude, then we should be all right. But I mean,
Hopefully.
who knows?
I mean, I also like want to talk to him to be like, hey, what? I guess just what?
Just what?
That's a
Just
wonderful question.
yeah, just in general, pretty much. That's what I want to know. Just a
I mean,
general what.
that's fair.
But what if that makes him mad?
That's the risk. Sometimes the truth's worth risking things for. If he is, all right, I'll put it this way: if he is a good guy, and that's what we're banking on, then nothing we could say without acting upon it would be bad enough to force him to retaliate on the town. If he's a bad guy, then anything we say could force him to retaliate on the town. Therefore,
And
it's kind of
then he's bad.
foolish to watch our words, but at that point we know he's bad and can just bitch slap him.
Okay. What if he's bad, but he's still like keeping the town from getting murdered by vampires?
Yep, that's definitely a possibility.
No.
I don't really think there's any way to avoid it.
Ugh.
There is not. It's a risk one way or the other, and that's all we got. You know, if he can help us, great. If he can't, whatever. If he stands in our way, then we burn that bridge and deal with the repercussions as best we can.
Okay. Yep. That definitely cleared things up.
Glad. Any other questions? Might be able to muddy some other waters.
How about you answer the general why?
What's the general lie?
No, the general just why.
Oh,
What's the answer, Craig?
because.
Damn.
That's
That's not an answer!
Because it's slightly an answer, so it's...
He just sets his mug down and goes, well, good talk, everyone.
Right? It's great.
Glad we had this conversation.
I mean,
I still
did-
don't have a coat, so I'm just gonna.
no,
freeze.
neither of any of us. But I guess, I mean, it did help a little bit. Like, if he's bad, then he's bad. And hopefully we don't doom an entire another village.
That's the hope I go into pretty much every day with. I wake up, I take a shit, I eat breakfast, and I hope I don't fuck up another town.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Lock the
Okay.
goals. She just turns like on her heel and like looks up the stairs and just Anna, Felix. I think we're ready. Also, do you have coats?
Anna's footsteps eventually return, and she kind of peeks down the stairs, and she goes, yes, we do have coats for you. In fact, I was just getting them out. Hold on for a second.
Good.
And then
Now we
eventually,
won't freeze.
yeah, 5 minutes later, she does come downstairs with, they're not great. They are probably what she has salvaged from their closets, like everything they have. How many people have the outfit? We have Sarah,
6.
Crave, Des.
5
Strahd.
medium and a small.
Yeah, the tiny one. Although Dumas, does he get cold? Dumas, are you cold?
Dumas is currently curled up so close to the fireplace, he is practically in it.
That's a yes.
He is physically basically climbed inside, and it looks like he's in a little baby jail.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's just not laying directly on the coals is the only difference. He just kind of peeks back out at you and he goes, I'm not going out there.
Oh. What if we gave you a really cute, toddler coat?
He's like, right there.
I mean, if you want, I guess we could, come back and pick you up.
I mean, if you want to miss out on meeting the weird half angel, half madman who rules over
Right?
this town, then I guess that's fine. But
David immediately pipes up with, hey, I want to miss out on that. I'm also
no, you don't have a
staying.
choice.
No.
Oh, come
Hey,
on.
I want to miss out on that.
The Moss gets the choice because he kills enemies.
What? I've killed enemies. He hasn't killed anyone, and he points to
Shot
Dumas.
one of us?
He did shoot me.
To be fair, they both have actually, helped. I'm just giving speed shit. 'Cause it's funny. All right. He gives him a lighthearted punch on the arm and goes, "Let's get out before we die of old age,"
Oh,
which for
boy.
him would be impressive.
Yeah, I think it would be preferable. That was really my original plan before I met all of you.
That would take a
Oh,
long time.
how the
You were
turns
going to commit
table.
suicide?
No, he was gonna die of old age in 1,500 years.
Hiding in a closet in an
Right?
abandoned castle filled with ghosts.
Yeah.
I was going to leave eventually. You don't have to rub it in.
Eventually.
Right.
All right.
Alright.
We'll bundle up and Get
Okay.
the dress.
Are you
Very
deciding to leave Dumas in the fireplace?
Dust will attempt to dress him like dressing a toddler.
Roll me either a persuasion or a
Animal handling.
dexterity check.
Well, now I'm actually potentially
If
better
you're
at
trying
that,
to entice him
but
out
not
of the
really.
fireplace versus dexterity.
I mean,
No.
either
First
way
of
is
all,
not going to go great.
you try to pick him up and he is slippery. Actually, no, let me roll for him. Let me roll for him. To be fair, let me just roll a
Come on, Dumas.
dexterity
You just gotta
opposing
put
check from
this
him.
arm in that one, and that. Yes.
Oh my god.
You guys watch what is the most frustrating looking like basically fight,
Like
but
dressing
it's
a toddler.
like dressing a toddler. Neither of them are happy with this experience. Yeah, I would say eventually you managed to get him into what appears to be a toddler coat. But he just like doesn't stand up. He like falls over and just doesn't move.
Just I pick him up.
Tuck him under your arm.
Yep. He's probably like actually he might be like half Dessa's size, so that might be difficult.
He's small. He's like 3 feet tall.
Yeah, she's only
Yeah.
like 5
That's true.
something.
I mean,
Not that much bigger.
it's like carrying a medium to large dog with you. That is mostly round from being wrapped in like several scarves and a toddler coat.
Can I put him on top of Dionadar?
He kind of rolls off.
No,
He is
God
now,
damn it.
because of his size, he kind of rolls off of Dionadar.
Dumas,
If you would like
sit
to attempt
up.
to strap him to a Dionadar,
Come on. You can't just lay on the ground. We have stuff to do.
I can definitely do that.
Stuff?
Roll
Don't
a
you
persuasion
want to
check.
meet the potentially powerful
Even better.
person who can, show you many magical things?
My rolls so far have been a 3, a 2, a 4, and
I
a
mean,
2.
you're just
Been
hitting
impressive.
him out of
Roll
your
a 20
system.
then.
Besides that
Good.
one. And then another 4.
Seraph, roll a persuasion
Persuasion.
check.
And great.
Let's see with my 8 in persuasion.
Ray just offers some of his Irish
Hey.
coffee to Carter while we're watching all this go down.
I'm watching it too, I'm just like piping in.
No, we're just watching. It's funner. It's more fun that way.
Dumas does seem to take to that, and he eventually kind of like pushes himself up into a general standing position, and then eventually climbs back onto the back of Dionadar,
I was
who
gonna say, if you climb on the back of Dionadar, then you don't even have to walk in the snow.
he will cling to her, but it looks like Dionadar has a little like fur backpack on her because it's like a fur
No.
coat.
So cute.
And you can just barely see his snout peeking out from under it.
I send
All right.
Kitschy to go perch on top of the DeBoss bundle. So they're just a big old pile of cute.
All
They
right.
are a stack of animals.
Savi, did you put your coat on?
Savi did indeed put his coat on. He is standing by the door watching all of this go down as well, going, man, I wish that was me.
All right. She just like stands there with her hands on her hips and just go.
Great, here we go. Out the
Alright,
door.
mother.
We open the door and get buried in snow.
Essentially, you open the door and there's like a gust of wind that blows immediately, a small pile of snow inside, but you eventually all go outside. It's a little bit better now. It's not snowing actively, but you immediately step out and you sink about up to your knee into snow on the footsteps. Felix, who is carrying the package, steps out after you, and he seems to be far more accustomed to this, doesn't seem to be too bothered, but he's just like, all right, It's quite a trek, so if you'll just follow me, we'll have
Sure.
to walk to the Abbey.
All the
Indeed.
is it uh is it the place that she saw last night on like the hill?
Well, you can ask him that if you'd like, but as he begins to lead you towards it, yeah, you do kind of see yourself heading towards that mountain cliffside.
We have to walk all the way up there.
You were so
Yes,
excited a few
unfortunately.
minutes ago.
And that was
Unfortunately,
before I'm waist high in snow.
He's just like digging out the snow in front of him with Bitey. He's just using it like a snowplow.
I feel like I should just start using my, like, a variation of firebolts, like, slowly melting it
I was
right
looking to see if I had
behind.
like shape water or something that I could have taken, but no, Artificer doesn't get that. Sad
I
face.
can't redo my spells
No,
every day.
nope, because you're a sorcerer.
I
hmm
can. I could pick up destroy water.
I
Create
mean,
destroy
it would do
water.
it.
I don't even think
You
I'd
just
have enough
cast
spell
it,
slots to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I was about to say that costs spell
Just
slots.
all right. It destroys it in like a 10-foot cube.
yeah, it's like a
God
10-foot
damn
cube.
it.
You do begin to slowly head over. Eventually, since D is the one kind of digging out a way for you, Dumas will begrudgingly stick his snout out from his fur coat and begin to also throw firebolts out in front to kind of melt the way, because he also has firebolts.
As this goes on, Gray's like, well, if we ever need work, we could work as a snowplow.
Apparently.
Um, yeah. You eventually make your way through the town, and as you get up onto the main road, like there is a pathway for you. Essentially, you have to get a little bit ways away from the burgomaster's house, but once you hit the main road, you're able to walk for a while. Um, and this takes you about an hour to walk through the city because of the fact that it's kind of snowed in. But eventually, the houses, which are already sparse as it is, it kind of feels like you're walking through the woods, but you know that this is a walled-in living space, which is kind of weird. Um, you eventually they grow sparse again, as if you're kind of reaching the town limits, and the mountain that you saw above you is growing closer. Who has? Wait a minute, we don't have Flora anymore, so who has the highest passive perception? Is it still
Jazz
Seraph?
probably.
No,
uh
Yeah,
15.
Des, I have a 14, so Des.
Des. Okay. So Des, since you already saw the structure, it's a little bit easier for you to make out, but you can now see that there is a uh, stone wall, essentially, that is built almost into the cliff itself. Um, that is far above you, clinging to the edge of the cliff. It looks relatively large, but it is at this point like at the top of what looks to be a switchback road that hugs the cliff. Doesn't look that wide, um, but you're slowly heading towards that, and you can tell that probably um, in about another 20 minutes or so, you're going to have to start climbing.
Is it also covered in lots of snow?
It is.
Oh, good.
Nice.
You love to see it.
All right.
My shoes are gonna get wet.
Oh yeah, you're all
You're
like all of
already.
most
Aren't
of
they
you
made
are
out of
already
leather?
relatively. Yeah,
Probably, but leather still gets wet. It's not
Especially when
perfect.
still,
it's not waterproof.
Yeah, I mean, they're
yeah.
probably treated.
They're
Like,
probably waterproof, but given the
it's
amount
snow.
of snow, it still gets in
Mhm.
through the crevices unless you guys did a
It goes
real
through
good
the
job.
top of your boots,
Yep.
and that's not waterproof because it's open.
Yep. All the people that have lived with snow are like, "Oh yeah, I know that feel."
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, eventually you guys finally hit what appears to be the last house, and in front of you, and really mostly above you, there is a 10-foot wide switchback road that is mostly uh like stones. It's essentially all snow, but you can see a couple of stones poking out. here and there.
That looks
The ascent
terrible.
looks somewhat treacherous, and obviously you can see that there's even more snow at the top.
I wish
She
I'd known
just
we were climbing today. Would have had my rope.
well, she just like gives Felix a questioning look and like points at that and just looks back at him again.
Felix sighs and goes, "Yes, that is indeed where we're going. There's a reason that we often don't make our way up here, especially in the winter, but this is a time of necessity.
Couldn't
I suppose we'll have to just start. It's not that bad, really, once you
couldn't you have
start
just made a
out.
house call again?
That would have been too convenient.
Yeah.
Indeed, I really am not in the habit of asking for favors from things I don't understand, really.
People who bring your kids back to life.
Indeed.
I mean, we asked favors all the livelong day of Madame Ava. Like, it makes me feel a little guilty thinking about it, but we had weapons and horses. She still brought you back.
That's true. She was nice though.
Up ahead of you, Felix slowly starts to make his way up onto the trail, and I guess everybody or whoever wants to take point behind Felix, I suppose, roll me a perception check, and whatever your marching order is, I suppose.
I mean, Des, you want to lead the
Yep.
way? I'll follow
Watch
up
me
behind
roll
Des.
like a 3. Wow, a 5.
But
Oh,
Much
there's
better.
a 3.
Can I help her? Can I help her
Powerful.
and give her advantage
Yeah,
on this?
yeah, absolutely.
Will it
if you're
matter?
behind her.
Will it matter?
No.
Nope.
God
Wow.
damn it.
Good job, you guys. Good freaking job.
Why?
That's hilarious. That's just fucking
Super
great.
distracted by Dumas in his little coat.
Right.
She's just
Whatever's
trying not
happening,
to
we
fall
miss
off the cliff.
it.
Oh, I love it.
Oh
All right.
boy, that was amazing.
All
You
right,
guys
I
are
rolled a
really
3,
selling it.
a 2, a 16, a 4, a 4, and
5s
2
with
5s.
advantage. Oh my
Neat.
god. Crazy. Insane.
God damn it.
Amazing.
Why?
Yep. All right. Oh, well, as you guys start out along the first path of the Switchback Road, yeah, you're heading up the mountain. Felix is kind of more or less leading the way, although it's difficult for him as well. Roll me a 10
No, wait.
perception, huh? Yep.
Us.
Gonna.
The dice have spoken.
Uh-huh.
The dice have spoken. It's difficult to see, especially because every time you look up, there's a glare hitting you back from the amount of snow on the mountaintop, and it's really hard to see really anything except for the fact that there is indeed a structure somewhere far above you. And this switchback road, I mean, it has several levels, and you have to turn back around several times, but each kind of level of it, as you're heading up the mountain, is at least a 400-foot rise, essentially, in elevation.
Great.
So you know that you're going to be going up several thousand feet essentially by the end of the day, and it is going to take you several hours. So throughout your first like 2 hours of hiking, you get up a little ways, and you can basically tell that probably you're not going to be able to make it up there until the afternoon at the very least.
Great.
Nice.
At least we had extra time.
Yep. As you're climbing up there, go ahead and everybody roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, good.
Nice. I'm actually good at these.
Yes!
Why?
Oh my god, Des.
Great.
You got a 6.
I rolled a 4.
Oh, look, Carter, their lovebirds
You at least
are doing the same
we're-
thing.
we're gonna fall off a cliff.
Freezing to death as we
Yeah,
climb
also
this
freezing to
fucking
death,
mountain.
yes.
All right.
We
Yeah,
do
Des,
have winter coats.
you do. You do. This is more for the fact that you are just hiking through like knee-deep snow
Uh,
the entire time.
See, we're leading the way. That's the problem. Y'all are just following our trail. We're pounding
Right?
down
Yep.
most of we're doing all the work up here.
Hey, I'm
That's
melting some
essentially
of
it,
it.
yeah.
just
I realized that I
plowing
should
with
also
his sword.
probably roll for
Would you want Thor to do
the
some druidcraft?
Definitely.
No.
why is
Wow.
Dumas good at Constitution? I don't remember.
He's a sorcerer.
Anyway.
He's proficient in it.
Sorcerers have con
Oh,
save
that's
proficiency.
right. That's
Same as
right.
artificers. It's amazing. So
With
we
your
can maintain
Right.
concentration. Yeah. I still rolled trash, but I had a plus.
So
You at least
Dumas in
rolled
his
above
little
10.
fur coat
Mm.
on top of the dog is doing great.
Right?
As are the two people who are towards the back who don't
All right,
have
hold
to
on,
do
hold
any
on.
of the
Before
heavy
it's
lifting.
can I hit my flash of genius on that? Make it a 15?
Okay,
Because technically I could.
you could if you want.
All right, does a 15 pass?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, good.
Did an 11 pass?
It did.
Oh, nice. Nice. Good to know. That
Yeah,
feels good.
I was about to say, but okay, if you want to use
Yep.
it, yes.
There you go.
Too
That's
late
what you.
now.
That's
Hey, that's how it works. That was my
Yep,
fault.
that's how it
I've
works.
picked it off. I felt more confident with a 15 than an 11. So
That's fair. Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it too high because you guys do have literal fur coats on you, so it's not like you're necessarily. It's in fact, in part, it's actually more so the overheating element of it because you're literally doing hard labor hiking up the side of this mountain through the snow. Des, you do get one level of exhaustion
Neat.
because
Even
you are
better.
in the front.
Now I'm at disadvantage.
I should have flashed a genius to Des.
You should have. You should have.
Right.
Now I can do even worse than worse, guys.
It's gonna be
You
amazing.
yeah,
Yes.
you didn't have a great night's sleep because of the fact that you were constantly worried and you keep on glancing up and you because of the fact that you keep on trying to glean something about the structure up there, you're just not in your best form at this point. But
she's also like 5-0 and hiking through snow
yep.
as the first one.
Yep. I will say, however, that yeah, the noon passes, you guys take a little bit of a break on the mountainside. It's not it's wide enough that none of you are necessarily in danger of falling off, and because of the fact that the snow is so high, it's actually a little bit better because of the fact that there's like bumper sides around you, you know.
Like bowling
But
bumper lanes.
yeah, you're basically in bumper lanes of snow. But every once in a while, if one of you cares to look down, you realize that yeah, you're getting higher and higher. Um, and if somebody was to try to go off the side, you would probably end up slipping.
Yeah, no, don't.
Neat.
Nobody fall.
I'm gonna fall off the cliff.
We cannot afford that right now.
I'm gonna top off this great start to the day with falling off a cliff.
I don't have the spell fly quite figured out yet. Don't fall. I'm
Okay, I'll
close.
cast
I'm
Death Ward on
close.
myself and just hit the ground.
I mean,
Jeez.
if you need to fall, now's probably the time because there's plenty of snow to cushion it.
Yeah,
I guess.
true.
It's still like a couple thousand
Slightly
feet.
less. Slightly less, yeah, fall damage. Not that much less though.
Only
Um,
like 1,000 as opposed to like 2,000.
Yeah, and then you'd all be rolling checks to try to dig her out.
That sounds like fun.
Where did
Amazing.
Des go? We don't know. Oops, an avalanche.
The snow has eaten her. She is gone.
She has become a polar bear in a snowstorm.
Essentially. Well, she's kind of no way, yeah.
I stand
She's
out,
like dark gray, so yeah, you
right?
stand out.
At least a little bit.
All right. But you guys stop for, for a little bit of a snack, munch down on some bread. It's not much, but still. And eventually continue to head back upward. I'm presuming all of you are being extremely careful and there's no shenanigans happening.
That's I mean, it's the safest assumption, but it's probably not accurate. You know our group. There's probably mild shenanigans happening.
It's
I
okay.
will presume they are within the.
I just remembered if I fall off a cliff, I can turn into a bird. Maybe.
Would you like to test it?
You know?
like,
Don't jump off the cliff, please.
No, I mean, not jumping off the cliff, but like with the way things are going, maybe I just turned into a fucking bird and meet you guys up there.
Have you figured out how to do it?
Do you know?
Is that a challenge?
With
Maybe.
your rolls, probably.
Savita immediately like taps Des on the back and goes, maybe not, because
What?
last time that happened, you were kind of
A bird?
mm,
Awesome. Really cool.
yeah, yes, no, yes, but also
What? Spit it out.
uh, uh, no, you know what? Never mind. Just no,
you
never mind. And
You
he just
started this. You have to answer. Now I'm curious.
naked. You were naked.
Oh,
That's right. You were naked.
Oh,
So?
yeah.
This is probably not the best situation to be naked in going forward, huh?
hmm.
Exactly my
Especially if
point.
you
Listen to Carter.
accidentally
Carter is
turn back.
a smart.
I
Yes,
mean,
exactly.
But if I'm a bird, I'll have feathers.
But would they be warm enough for you?
I don't know.
How many have we seen any other birds out since coming up here?
Roll a perception check.
Looking for birds.
Roll perception for
18.
birds.
Roll for
Yeah,
birds.
you've seen a couple of birds, mostly like those. Oh man, I'm gonna get shit for this. Great tits.
Great.
You know the ones. Great tits.
Now I know what to call this episode, the Great Tits.
Especially if I turn into a bird and I'm naked.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Fuck.
okay.
No, sorry, you killed me. You killed me. I had to go under the
Apparently.
table. Yes.
Yes, my job is done.
No, you see one of those little like fluffy birds that usually don't migrate anywhere for the winter. They're rare. They're not flying a lot. But yeah, you've seen some birds flying back and forth.
They're warm enough.
I'll give it one more chance. If I fall over in the snow, I'm turning into a bird and you have to carry my stuff.
I mean,
Felix kind of turns
Alternatively-
around and goes,
Lost.
what are you doing? What are you trying?
Alternatively, you turn into a bird and carry your own stuff.
I can't.
Yeah, do
It's
it
too
better.
much.
Do it like Flora did. Like 2 times we saw him wild shape.
Yeah, well, the problem is that my stuff doesn't come with me.
Not with that attitude.
Right? You just gotta want it.
Yeah, have you tried?
I try to turn into a bird.
Roll a wisdom check for me.
Neat.
Neat.
Okay.
Hey.
No,
I rolled a 10
actually,
that time.
yeah. Actually, yeah, with the 15, you concentrate, you kind of close your eyes.
I also try to keep my stuff.
You try to keep your stuff. Okay.
Yes.
You
Real hard.
haven't done this a lot before, and in fact, last time when you tried to do this before, it failed. So it's difficult to feel what it would be like. But you close your eyes, you kind of squeeze them together, and you go bird, 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 bird. And after a few brief moments, you feel something warm, as if you're diving into like a sauna face first, and suddenly you feel everything shrink. And your clothes fall off around you, and you are suddenly in a very warm, very dark place, and you can't see. All the rest of you
Alright.
see Des kind of go, and then black feathers puff out, and she kind of like disappears into a pile of, well, jackets and coats.
Craig just sort of bends over and begrudgingly starts putting all of the stuff into his bag of holding.
Hell yeah.
Eventually, you also find a raven somewhere in there.
Yeah. Picks her up and just throws her into the sky. Go fly.
Ah!
All right.
I hope
You
she knows how
actually
to
take
fly.
to the yeah. Last time you
Figured it out last
rolled
time.
so freaking well that you already know how to do this. You
Hell
immediately
yeah.
take to the air, and yeah, it's chilly. It's chillier than before, but it's tolerable-ish.
But I'm not walking through snow.
You are not.
Hell yeah.
Now,
Okay,
if we were to start chucking snowballs at her,
I mild shenanigans. I'm yeah. I'd pick up a snowball. Just start like patting one. Like how they make those snowballs. We pack it super tight. And you make it like that. That's what he's
Oh
doing.
boy.
It's
Oh
like
boy.
that perfect where he's like shaving the outside down to this super smooth layer of this perfect round snowball.
Sabine just kind of goes, "Are you really sure? It's not doesn't seem." And he looks back at Des and how close to them are you flying? What are you doing, Des?
Probably like 20 feet, like
Okay.
above.
Okay.
While
So you're
Savid
just kind
is
of like
looking
coasting back and forth.
Yeah,
while Savid's
hanging out with
looking at
buddy.
Des, I throw the snowball at Savid.
Roll an attack roll. Add your strength modifier, I
18.
guess. Oh jeez.
Dexterity. It's 18.
Yeah, that hits. Sabine just kind of goes,
I immediately point at Carter. Immediately point at Carter.
roll a deception check.
Deception.
15.
Savid looks at Carter and goes, What did I do to deserve that? What are you Come on, man! I thought you were my side.
Yeah.
What side? We had sides? Were there sides?
Nobody's on my side, says Savid, begins to slump away.
Aren't we all on the same
Aw.
side? What are you talking about?
Oh, I made him sad. I'm sorry, Savid. Here, just get in line. I'll get back to work, and I just start plowing snow out of the way with Bitey again. Who I realize now is starting to get hungry.
Uh-oh. Can he eat snow?
I don't think so.
You can certainly try. How long has it been for Bitey? I've been keeping track, but I haven't updated.
4 days. This is day 4.
Is it day 4? Okay, thank you for
Day
keeping
4.
track.
Yeah. Because I every time I go through and I redo all my flashes of genius, I go and I bump the day count up 1.
Oh, good. All right. All right, but you guys continue to head up. Des remains in Raven form, kind of coasting above you, as long
Yep.
as you're. Just let me know if you wanted to fly elsewhere, but
Okay. It's much more
Yes.
comfortable. I mean,
it's chilly. But yes,
Yeah. If she goes up, like, I guess she'd have to go up pretty high to get up to like the top, right? Or still
yeah,
some ways away?
you can definitely try to gain some elevation and try to fly up there. However, as you kind of angle yourself up, and you're pretty adept at flying, but you haven't like flown a lot, and you're not used to straining those muscles. It's much windier the further up
Okay.
you climb. So you are fighting quite a bit of wind. If you want to try it, definitely. But you're getting kind of knocked around by gales on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, she'll try.
Okay. Roll
She
me
wants-
an athletics as your bird form with your bird statistics.
Oh boy, hold on.
Bird statistics. Bird statistics.
Yes.
All right, whatever I roll with a 0 instead of a 1. So
Okay.
11.
11. Okay. Um Yeah, you get up there and you get a little bit further up, but eventually the wind keeps knocking you down. You do get a little bit closer to the abbey, but not enough to see anything immediate. You basically just see the fact that there is a wall, and actually, you know what? Yeah, here, let me just do this because you guys are heading up there anyways.
Map.
Ooh, there's a map.
Yeah, so you would be
It's
kind
all
of able
dark.
to. Yeah, sorry, give me a oh wait, it's all dark?
Yep.
It's all
It's all
dark.
black.
Oh no.
The shadow.
Not the
shadow.
fog of wars.
I thought I turned it off. Hold on. Reset fog? No, I don't want to reset
I
fog.
feel like this is gonna be the #1 problem I'm gonna have when playing Ken's campaign.
Okay, hold on. Let me
The
take
fact
you off
that
this map.
Roll20 likes to fuck with you.
Let me take you off this map for just a second, and I'm going to try to reset it because I don't know how to do this otherwise. Grid? Fog of War? No. Wait, how did I do this last time? Dang it. Not dynamic lighting. I got rid of all of my. Hold on. Because I had some areas hidden and I wanted to let me hide. Yes, turn on Fog of War. Okay. Wait, but you guys still can't see? Hold
We're
on.
back on the
We're
crest
still in
map
the
now.
Nope. It's still black.
Still dark.
How did I do this last time? Oh no.
Let's see. I need to actually like be able to.
Can you see if I do this? No?
No.
So you have to go down into the thing at the bottom where it says Advanced and Legacy Settings and turn off the Legacy lighting as well. Under the Dynamic
Oh.
Lighting tab at the very bottom, there's another toggle button. Yeah.
Oh, you have to disable the legacy light. Oh,
Yeah.
say okay. Ah,
See if that works. And then you'll have
yeah.
to hide things and do all that manually.
Yeah.
Let's just hide the whole thing and then unhide the whole thing. Or unhide the part we should see.
Okay. Oh geez, Roll20 updated and now it's really easy to open up new map pages and it's kind of fucking me over a little bit. Okay, can you see now?
Yes.
Okay.
Heck
But
yeah.
not too much, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't see the building.
Okay, cool.
Just the road.
The
Switchbacks
giant
leading up.
winding road.
Yep, winding road.
I guess I should probably.
Oh shit, that's where we are.
Yeah, sorry you guys are tiny. This map is also huge, so I'm sorry if it takes a while to load for everyone.
That's
No,
fine.
actually it's
Yeah.
loaded
Snapped
in.
real
Yeah,
quick.
it loaded in very
Okay.
quickly.
All right. So yeah, for the sake of Des having a little bit more of a scope on it, you're not able to get above the abbey. The winds are too strong. You're able to get a little bit higher and see it, but it is a huge walled-in interior, and you can see several buildings that are beyond the walled-off area that seems to be blocking most of the wind from what you presume. You don't see a lot beyond that. Not like any movement or anything beyond that. Looks
Right.
like just a monastery, essentially. A relatively old one at that. It's been there for several hundred years.
Alright. Well, that was very tiring, so she'll fly back down to the group and like perch on one of Cray's shoulders.
Okay.
He just puts up one hand like absentmindedly.
All right. Well, you are becoming a bird puffball in order to protect yourself from the elements. You guys continue to head on up, and eventually, I'm not going to make you roll another Constitution save for it. It's not a long enough trek. But it takes you about, I would say, another 3 hours to make it up. So when you arrive up by the monastery itself, it's probably somewhere you would guess past noon, maybe 2 or 3 hours past noon at that point. And let's see, let me get out my own map here and see where you would come up. Yes. Right. So the gravel road eventually leads you between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches like a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of what looks to be jumbled stones held together with really, really old mortar. There's also an iron gates blocking the road that are attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked from the first glance, but viewed through the gates as you approach, the stone abbey stands quiet. There's like 2 wings that are joined by a 15-foot high curtain wall, and there is a belfry that protrudes from the rooftop of the closer north wing, which also sports a chimney of billowing gray smoke, so you do see smoke. So you're somewhere around here. I don't know what order you guys would want to be in.
I'll turn to Felix since Des is a bird and ask him if there's a way to signal the abbot, or should we just walk in, or do we jump the fence, or
Then we
Definitely.
just jump the fence.
I
I'm sure they'll love that.
I'm just throwing all the options out there. I'm not saying they're good options. I'm just putting all our options on the table.
Felix looks a little bit nervous. You can tell that he's not been a lot, he's not been here very often, but he seems to be putting on a brave face. He kind of very carefully clears his throat and kind of looks forward and goes, "Well, I would not recommend hopping the fence. I don't think that will endear us to the abbot. I suppose we could simply call in. Perhaps there is some sort of groundskeeper that we can perhaps have a word with. I should hope." And he kind of looks up towards 2 of the stone outbuildings, which you can't really see into them. You can guess that there's like a small window, but seems to be relatively empty for the time being, or at least nobody's acknowledged your presence. But he walks up to the gates and he kind of peers inside, and then steps back and goes, "I'm honestly not sure what I should do. Should I simply call? I don't seem to hear anybody in there."
Is it just like, is it a solid gate? Is it like one of the barred gates? Like, what type of gate is it?
It's just a simple, like, barred gate, honestly, and it's unlocked.
Mm.
Like, one of the doors is kind of swinging open. It looks partially stuck in the ground, and in fact, once you guys are here, I would even say you would be able to see inside, so you can at least get a little bit of a view. Hold on a second. You can kind of see inside, and you can see that there's another, um so there's, like, a building, to one side of you guys. But there's, like, a secondary gate on the far side of it. Where's my Polygon Reveal thing? Whee! Give me 1 sec.
Okay. And there's no like bell or something that I could make a lot of noise with out here.
Not immediately visible, no, it just looks like there's a couple of, like, general buildings, but yeah.
All right then. I say we just
Death just like hops on top of the top of the one of the gates.
One of the gates, yeah. It looks to be just, like, essentially a little stone building. It has a roof.
Cray will walk on in, keeping his eye out for anything, just kind of shouting, "Hello? Anybody here that could like show us around, talk to us, be
Uh
here?"
Mhm.
As soon as you say you call out, you do hear the sounds of a couple of voices startling behind you, and as you walk through, you glance backwards and you see that um, these stone buildings that you just walked past, there is indeed a couple of figures crouched inside of one of them. Um, and they immediately poke their heads out from inside, and what you see at first kind of startles you. They're both quite wrapped up in their own version of coats because it's quite cold in here, but
It's a cult.
what you see is initially startling because it's not a human visage, at least not the one that's closer to you. You see what appears to be fangs and almost like a dog-like nose, but you also see a human eye peering back at you from beneath the heavily hooded cloak. But it seems to size you up for a second and then steps forward, and probably this is what actually, where's my little thingy so I can show you what your new friend looks like. 1 second. I remember how to do this.
I believe in you.
Me too. How do I show to people? What? Not uploading. Uh, how do I?
It should be like a show to character or show to players.
Show
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, I thought. Hmm. There should be one, huh?
You would think.
You would think. I'm not seeing it. Whatever. I'm just going to use Discord because that's what we're going to do. Because that's easier.
Oh man, my one viewer is gonna be upset.
Oh
Oh
no,
no, I'm
that's
so
poor
sorry.
bot. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
that's weird.
okay.
Not what I expected, but alright.
One of the creatures, the one that's forward, steps towards you, and you essentially see that visage peeking out from beneath a heavily furred woolen cloak. But it appraises you for a moment, kind of sniffs the air, and eventually goes, "You visitor?
Oh,
Visitor, yes."
sure. Right. Yeah. No,
Yes.
that's us. Felix, can you do you know or what?
What?
Felix kind of goes in and joins you, and as soon as he looks back to see what you're pointing at, he just kind of goes, oh. And as a
That's a
response,
rude reaction.
this figure kind of slinks back into the shadows of one of the houses and seems to pull its cloak further around itself, seemingly knowingly hiding its less human features. One of his arms does curl up outside of the cloak to kind of hold up a sort of a mask to cover his face. But it continues to talk in a more or less friendly fashion as it kind of looks between the entire group that I presume have now filed inside.
Yeah.
You come to visit the Abbot, yes? Yes? You
Right.
come looking for gift?
Gift? No, we have a gift.
Oh, you have a gift. You have a gift for
Yeah.
Abbot. The Abbot. It whispers to the one
Amen.
behind it, who is also heavily wrapped up, but you can also see
Gift.
something of a humanoid face, although you also get the sense that one of the arms is strangely green.
Hmm.
One of the hands that's poking up from outside of the coat is
I
also.
might have been a little preemptive with the words. It's less gift, more payment, but it is something for him, and I don't think I have anything I want from him.
That's good news. Yes, yes. And they kind of seem to chitter amongst themselves, turn to each other, and exchange a few words. But eventually, the one that came forward to greet you says, "Oh, yes, I shall get the abbot, and I shall return. Yes, wait here. We'll get his grace." Um, and as the silent one waits, the other one turns and begins to run, and you swear you see the hint of a tail pop out from beneath the cloak before he disappears all the way down.
Can I follow him
Do you want to follow him?
as a raven?
So you take off and go after?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be careful,
Uh,
bird.
Right. It's gonna pop you up over here. The other one kind of glances at the bird, glances back at you, says nothing, for the time being, but just seems to be keeping an eye on the rest of you. And when you guys are, since you guys are mostly inside, you can see that you are now in what appears to be more or less the inside courtyard area of this place. Let me reveal some things for you. Where is my things? Yeah, can't see much beyond this wall, but on the right side of you, there appears to be something that resembles perhaps a graveyard. You can see a couple of headstones on that side of the closer building, and then there's a further building somewhere to the north that's a little bit larger. But the first one that you met runs off towards yet another gate, and this gate is properly locked and appears to be not necessarily. Well, you actually think that it's probably guarded because you see a couple of figures on the inside of it.
More along
He
the
runs.
same line as to the other ones.
Yep, this is. Let me ping you here. It's right there. Yeah.
Seraph.
Oh,
Seraph. Hey, can you distract him? Distract him for a bit.
ugh.
Just a minute.
Am I talking to the one with the lizard or the dog?
The one that's watching us. Just get him looking the other way.
Like this direction?
Sure. Either way.
Well, I have no control over my token, so
You
You don't?
no.
Why don't you have any control over your token?
It's I
Oh, because
can't.
it's a
Because
generic.
roll 20.
Hold on. Let me.
Wait, there it is. Wait.
Hold on. Hold
There it goes.
on.
I can do it now. I
There
don't
we
know
go.
why.
Okay.
I don't know
There we
why.
go.
That was weird.
I assigned the token. No, I assigned the token back to your character. I don't know why, but it was just a generic token for a second there.
I was all crooked too. my laptop's freaking out. I'll walk up and I'll just like stand right here and I'll just
He
go.
immediately, as soon as you begin to kind of move, he moves towards you and tries to block off your path and goes, "Hey, you didn't say you could move."
Oh, my apologies. I was so curious about everything that goes on around here. How is it?
Yeah, you keep being
How does
curious.
everything work?
Seems to be he seems to be like eyeing you and then looking back towards the rest of the group and seems to be more confused by your question than anything else. And goes,
Savid, go
"How
help
does
Seraph. Go help Seraph, Savid. Go.
I find Sabine eventually goes and joins and goes, do forgive our friend. He is a little bit of an odd one. He likes to ask." He looks back at Cray and just shrugs and goes, "What am I supposed to do?"
I like motion like you can't just
Sarah, roll a general charisma check.
if at any point he
Distraction check.
becomes what I would assume to be possibly distracted enough for me to cast a spell, I would like to cast
Mhm.
invisibility on Carter.
Okay.
Not horrible.
Okay. No, not bad. The one that you're talking to seems to be looking between you and Savid now, and he seems to be more distracted. You can also pretty easily, duck behind view of one of those buildings. Let me just really quickly
Come here.
roll a. Hope I don't roll with advantage. You're trying to cast a spell?
Yeah, invisibility.
Okay. Yeah, he can't see you. All right, you cast invisibility on Carter?
Invisibility. Poof. Carter's spell.
All right.
Okay. Now, go while we talk to the Abbit. Go find out whatever you can. Do your thing. And then I will be back. I was like looking at myself, like, ooh, I have invisibility. I could go sneak around, but I'm really bad at that. But Carter's not.
All right. So then you go and join it. While this is all happening, and while Carter is invisible and is apparently sneaking off,
I don't know,
yes,
that's up
you're
to
still
Carter.
following.
Cray's just being madman.
Fair enough. Roll me a stealth check as a crow.
She's not really stealthing. She's kind of just going with
She's
the
just
guy.
following. Okay.
Yeah.
He gets up to the gates, looks behind to check out the group, notices you as a raven following, and just kind of goes, "Arr, shoo, shoo, bird," and then turns back around and begins to try to unlock the gate. Unlocks it after a few unsuccessful tries, steps inside, and then kind of quickly closes it, and then looks back at you to see what you're going to do.
Is there room to fly over it?
You're a bird. Yes,
Yeah.
there is room to fly over it.
She just goes up on top of the gate and just perches and stares at him.
Okay. From the top of the gate, let me just reveal a little bit more to you while I have you here. Excuse me while I do this. Frickin' Polygon Reveal. Just give me a second. Don't mind me. Because you can basically see the inside of the courtyard, the entire thing for now, so you're going to be seeing a lot. Eh, eh. Thank you for your patience while I... Okay. Anyways. So beyond this 15-foot high curtain wall that you've flown on top of, you can see the wall joins the Abbey's two wings, essentially. Behind the battlements, there is two guards standing at attention, their features obscured by a kind of low fog, probably from the snow, and there's quite a bit of glare. Below them, you see set into the wall is a pair of 10-foot tall wooden doors, reinforced with like bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque, which you assume probably says something about the Abbey. But yeah, you see the two kind of areas. There is a building off towards your left and a building off towards the right that is a little bit smaller.
She just follows wherever he goes.
Okay. All right. The guy moves inside and still kind of looking over his shoulder at you a little bit suspiciously. He heads over towards this building and glances back at you, opens the door, and just very quickly moves into it, making to
tries to
shut
get
it
in,
behind
too.
him. Go ahead and roll for dexterity.
Ah.
Yeah, you're still exhausted.
Ooh.
Unfortunately, you try to follow behind after him, but he is apparently much slicker than you are, and the door shuts right in your face with a defining slam.
Well, I will go look for a window then, since he so rudely shut the door.
Weirdly enough, there's not a lot of windows on this side. You know, you saw a couple of windows back when you were on the other side of the place, but on this side it appears to be a pretty solid stone wall, except for let me see if there's upstairs windows. Actually, that's a good point. I wonder if there's windows upstairs. Sorry, give me one sec. No, there's also no windows upstairs on that side. It appears to be just a solid wall from this angle. Just the entryway. All right. Really quickly leaving you there. Anybody else doing anything? Carter?
I mean, if if he wants me to go snooping around invisible, like I kind of got to. feel I owe it to him.
Mhm.
I feel bad because we didn't have time to discuss this, but it was a decision that I made. So
He just taps you on the shoulder and you're just invisible.
that's more or less how it works.
Right, which way are you heading?
Probably like around this way, trying to stick close to this path so he's not leaving footprints.
Okay. So you're going
And
directly past where the
crowd.
guy is? Directly beneath
more,
the crowd?
more like towards where Seraph is, and just kind of
Okay.
like hand on the shoulder so he knows that Carter's coming through, and just trying to weave around him.
Okay. Roll a stealth check for me.
It was a 4.
I feel like you would have advantage.
Because he is invisible. I'm taking that into account, essentially. Anyway. Yeah. The guy seems none the wiser. He seems to be mostly frustrated by the fact that there's a couple of people trying to ask him questions and seems to be shrinking away from all of you, at least for the time being.
All right, then I'm just gonna scoot on up along this path as much as I can, as fast as I can.
Okay. The door is still shut. The one that you saw the raven fly over and the guy disappear into.
How
And this
tall
one
is
is
it?
not. It is. Let me double check. I think I just said it, and then I immediately forgot what I said. I believe it is technically the door is set into the wall, and it's a 15-foot high curtain wall that joins both of the wings.
Is the door like locked? If I try to push it, does it give it all?
Do you jiggle it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's locked.
All right, I'm back.
It's not. It doesn't look like a complex mechanism necessarily, but yeah, it seems to be that whoever, the guy that had just stuck in a little while ago has put up some kind of a barrier on the other side.
Okay. I mean, can I try to kick it open, or is it like barred?
Kick it or
No,
pick
no,
it?
pick it.
Okay. Very important distinction. Sorry, didn't mean
Right.
Slightly important.
Yeah, you can try to pick it open. It seems I mean, it's also just barred. It doesn't seem like it would be a complex mechanism, but yeah, you can try to have your hand at it.
Right.
All right, yeah. It is literally just like a plank of wood from the other side more than anything, but you managed to use your locksmith's tools to essentially. However, here's a question: does that drop invisibility or
No,
no?
that's just attacking.
Oh, that's true. You're
Whenever
right.
you attack,
All
or if
right.
I lose concentration.
Or if you lose concentration.
Or if someone
Um,
touches
Up to an
craving
hour, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, you managed to basically pop it up from the other side. And however, with that, I need to roll the guy another perception check to see if he notices the door being.
That is fair.
Oh no.
And he rolled a 20.
Do I need to roll
So
another stealth?
you can roll me another stealth to see if you can stealthily unlock the door and slip in before he notices.
Ooh.
20.
What is with these matching
It's
rolls?
crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, what
Pretty
is with the matching? I would say, yeah, you managed to do it in kind of a smooth movement, but the door creaks at the last moment, and you see him tense as you guys are all surrounding him, and he looks back behind him, expecting his friend, presumably, to have come back by now. But upon seeing nobody, he immediately becomes suspicious, and he goes, "What are you planning?"
What?
And you can
Plans? We have no plans.
Yeah, us Sheriff, tell him about all our plans.
Our
Go ahead. It's
plans
fine.
were to deliver this package for the what was his name?
The Abbit.
The Abbit.
Uh,
Sir Abbit
on
Lord
behalf of
Abbit.
Felix over here.
Felix, who looks extremely nervous at this point, he's like, "Please don't do this." The guy turns around back towards you, and he kind of goes, "If it's a package, you could just give it to me, and I'll deliver it. Never seen you around here before."
No, that's true. I mean, there are lives and livelihoods on the line, so I think it'd be best for us to hand this one off, in person. Just see it through to the end. It's the professional way to do it.
Meanwhile, sorry, I'm hopping back and forth here.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
right.
Carter,
I'm just hoping I've distracted him enough so that he kind of forgot what made him suspicious. He's trying to pull his attention onto me.
He's definitely not following. He's just looking back between all of you. He seems to understand that there is something afoot, but he has no idea what the fuck it is.
That's fair.
You made him suspicious, but at this moment, Carter, you step out into what this, between these two wings of the Abbey. The courtyard opens up before you, a familiar thing. Roll me a perception check really quick.
Ready? A 1. Hell yeah.
Ooh. You come up behind. Your previous stealth check has gotten you far because you have snuck up behind one of the guards, and you're pretty sure you can see one of them tense up, and you're like maybe a foot behind it. Something
So
about
these are
those
people?
guards. Yep.
Okay. I was gonna ask what these
You
were.
are 100. You're 100% sure they are people.
Definitely.
Definitely people, and it sets you on edge. Something about them just don't feel right.
People. Ugh.
What about over
People
here? What
were-
are these?
Oh yeah, I did not. That appears to be some kind of other humanoid person that is currently crouched by a post. It's partially covered by snow. Appears to be kind of pacing back and forth. It's difficult to tell if it's a human or an animal from this distance. You're kind of just peeking around the back of one of these houses. You can also see. Yeah, you'd be able to see it because there's a raven that you recognize that is hopping along the ground, or maybe flying. I don't know what you're doing at the moment, Des. Just outside of the
She's
doors.
flying like side to side looking for windows.
hmm And I would say it is at this precise moment, with you guys having gotten that far, that the doors open once again, immediately below you, Des, while you were searching for a window. It seems that whatever it is that the guy had come in there for hasn't taken very long at all. The door opens again, much wider this time, and the same little guy emerges, looking around, presumably for you, and following very close behind him is a very familiar, very tall figure of the abbot, striding out of this same building and shutting the door behind him.
Neat.
And it looks like they are beelining it back towards this gate.
I'll go and perch on the dog guy's shoulder.
He looks up at you and just immediately begins to flail his hands about and goes, no. The abbot, he essentially like begins to roll on the ground trying to get you off of him. I don't know.
He tries that hard.
I mean, he seems to be unnerved by your presence. The abbot just kind
Okay.
of seems to ignore him and strides right by, and just offhandedly you hear him say in his general, in his very soothing, very unnatural voice, "Otto, it is simply an animal," and just continues to move.
I go and perch on the abbot's shoulder instead and hitch a ride back.
All right. Actually, good point of order. Give me 1 second. I need to check something.
Does whatever
Boy.
he is have true sight?
That's exactly
I'm
what
sure
I'm
it's
checking.
fine.
Yeah,
Definitely
as soon as y'all said he was
fine.
coming around, that Carter dipped towards the fountain and is gonna, or whatever this well thing is gonna try to keep it between him and them.
I have to double check really quick. Sorry, give me one sec, guys. Do, 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 do.
You have to check about how stupid we're being and how fucked we are.
We always have to push it every time. It
Right?
never, like...
We don't
it's-
learn.
No, it's great. I love it.
Alright. He glances up at you on his shoulder, seems to smile just a little bit, but doesn't slow in his step and continues to move onwards. Doesn't seem to be too bothered by you perching on his shoulder.
Okay.
Moves directly towards Carter. What are you doing?
Just circling this well and keeping low to it in case he can somehow see while I'm invisible.
Roll a stealth check.
Oh. Oh wait, that was the perception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
You
the
earned that
Okay,
one
alright.
before, so it's fine.
All right. Right, you duck behind the well, and you're pretty sure he can't see you. He doesn't move towards you. He is moving back towards this area, and as he moves past, he turns and begins to like unlock the gate. Notices it's not locked, and it gives whoever this other guy is auto behind him. Actually, Des, roll me a perception check. Perception. All right.
Okay.
You move between the two guard figures that you'd flown over previously, had kind of ignored. As you glance over, you realize that they are quite blatantly scarecrows.
Well, are they the scary kind of scarecrows or just regular scarecrows?
I mean, all of the other scarecrows you've seen have been pretty identical to regular scarecrows until they move.
Okay.
Seems like the standard mass-produced Barovian scarecrow at the moment.
Neat.
Regardless, as the abbot opens the door, he kind of glances back at Otto and seems to almost begin to reprimand him for leaving it unlocked, but then moves on and moves towards the group, which is currently awaiting them in the other side. You guys see a very familiar abbot emerging from the gates with the raven perched on his shoulder.
Look, a bird found the abbot.
Hmm.
It's a weird bird.
Right behind him is the strange person, if it is a person, hobbling, kind of crouching very low to the ground, almost in a reverent way. And as you approach, the other one also turns, sees the man coming up, and immediately assumes the same kind of almost submissive pose and crouches down and moves off to the side as the abbot comes towards you. And he appears to be moving through the snow with an incredible amount of ease, almost unimpeded, and his robes are immaculate despite the fact that this road is quite dirtied. He
Now
spreads
that's
his
impressive.
arms. He spreads his arms wide as he approaches you, a very pleasant, bit strange, observing smile on his face. But he seems to be, at least for the time being, genuinely glad to see visitors, and he goes, "Welcome to the Abbey of Saint Markovia. Let the light of the morning, Lord, shine upon you. It is so ever pleasant to see some new faces." And he seems to stare at each of your faces intently, as if he's very curious about them indeed. His gaze kind of glides off of Cray, uninterested, more or less, and then seems to stop on Sarah for just a brief moment. You can see that he's thinking of something, and his head tilts to the side slowly. But then he turns back to Cray and Savid and whoever's left in that little. Yeah, I guess it's Cray and Savid and Sarah.
Dog pile of
The
DeMoss
dog
and
pile
the
of
animal.
Dumas. Yes, the animals. And he just kind of goes, "You are traveling adventurers, yes? Oh, dedicated to the well-being of these poor, desolate peoples trapped in this cursed land. As am I. And eventually...
You're an adventurer? Or were?
Or trapped.
Literally any question, just take a part of your sentence and explain any part of it.
No, I am afraid I am no adventurer. However, I do come from a far-off land. I am simply dedicated to the desolate peoples trapped here, as are you, I presume. And, Burgermaster, he seems to ignore you completely, noticing now the slightly hidden figure of the Burgermaster behind you, who's been quiet up until this whole time. Holds out a hand and goes, I see you have returned. You have what I have asked for. And at this point, the Burgermaster kind of steps out sheepishly from behind you all and seems to give a deep bow, holding out at the same time this leather package that you've been carrying along with you. And with shaking hands, you can see that he's quite nervous to be this close to the abbot for one reason or another. He goes, yes, I'm so sorry for all of the trouble and the wait. I believe that this should be what you seek. If it is not sufficient, of course, we will do our best to try again. But if this will be enough, it's the least we could do for the life of my Ilya. I hope this is... I believe this is... And the abbot, not really even looking at him, now solely focused on the package, takes it from his hands, holds it up, and begins to unravel the leather, letting it fall away onto the ground as if he's not even really concerned about that. As soon as the wedding dress comes out, he holds it up to the light, and everything seems to kind of freeze as you all wait with bated breath. But after a few very intense seconds, there is a smile, sort of strange, unnerving, but at the same time very beautiful smile that crosses his face again, and he turns the fabric over in his hands and goes, yes, I believe that this will be sufficient. Very well. This is very good, Burgermaster. I am glad that I could count on you in this time of need. Let your family prosper until their intended time. That will be all. And he folds up the dress, and without even saying another word to any of you, begins to just walk right back.
Strahd, what do you need the dress for? We went to a lot of trouble for that, and it'd be good to just,
He kind of... roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Does not seem to even be looking at you anymore. He is solely focused on the dress. He's even not looking where he's going. He's just looking at the dress as he's walking. And as he does so, he at the same time lifts his hand and gently brushes the Death Raven off of his shoulder. Not like slapping it, but gently just shooing motion. What are you doing?
Me? No, I was gonna do that, but then I realized it was concentration. I'm not gonna leave Carter nowhere. Yeah, that'd be bad. So
Speaking of Carter, since you are still by yourself in between the two wings, where are you trying to go?
I was gonna try to peek into the building that he came out of.
Okay. Sure. Are you just gonna kind of open the door?
I'm gonna try to do it stealthily,
Sure.
creak it open just to peek in case somebody's there waiting, and we can maybe try to blame it on the wind or something.
All right. The door's not locked. They didn't bother to lock it behind them when they went out. So you do open it. Roll me a stealth check, since you're trying to do so gently. Okay. You manage to lift the door a little bit in a way that you assume would help the hinges not squeak as you turn them, and you just very carefully peer inside. What you see unfolding before you is a main hall of sorts, and immediately you actually roll me a perception check while you're peeking in there. That would be more fair. Okay. So some things that you do notice, it's a main hall. The ground floor is one huge 50-foot square room with elegant arched leaded glass windows. You can see a fire and a hearth on the opposite side, above a fireplace mantle. There is also a golden disc engraved with some sort of symbol, like religious symbology. And in the corner, there's a wooden staircase that climbs up to the upper level. And in the other corner, immediately, you see a lower stone staircase that seems to descend into darkness, just from your perspective. You can also see a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. There is wooden dishware and gold candelabras that are neatly arranged on the table. And it appears to be just a very nice, lavish room. In fact, I think I can probably, yeah, you will be able to more or less see into this way. You can see a kind of staircase here and here as well. I would say you'd be able to see this much. It looks just like a very nice main hall for an abbey, presumably.
My instincts are saying go deeper, but if we're really not trying to cause problems here, I should probably fight that urge.
Who
I mean,
knows what we're trying to do?
could we see that these are windows from the other side?
Yeah. They're tall, like stained glass windows that you can see on the other end.
Not going to be windows you can open. All right.
I mean,
Yeah, they're yeah, it's an abbey. They're tall stained glass
Yeah.
windows.
Yeah.
you can open any window you want with enough.
With
you
a
know,
rock.
Yeah, with enough determination.
Or my handy dandy crowbar.
That also works like a rock if you smash it into something. All right. So that's you, Carter. Would you like to head on inside, or are you doing something else heading back?
Would I be able to see them starting to head back?
You would not be able to see anything from this point, I would say, because yeah, the stained glass windows are stained, also kind of huge, and they distort the images outside, so you can't see to the other side of it necessarily. Roll me a perception check to roll me a perception check to see if you notice the abbot heading back, because he is heading back your way quite swiftly. Oh damn, yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You sure do.
You sure do. And I'm sorry, Des, I'm gonna have to leave you behind because he just kind of shooed you off.
She'll see if he'll let her follow him, but if not, then I'll give up.
How far are you intending? Like, are you like trying to land back on his shoulder, or?
No, just like following beside him then.
Okay. He seems to be, for the time being, ignoring you and focusing solely on the wedding dress, although Otto, who is in his wake, is going to probably attempt to grab at you. Yeah, he's gonna roll. What should I'll just roll it as like an attack because that's gonna be the easiest way to proceed. 15 for your bird AC.
I think that hits because I don't think I have any AC. Just Jack.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
whatever the Ravens is, yeah.
It's just
So
whatever
essentially,
unarmored is.
yeah. So as you're trying to follow along with the abbot, Otto jumps up into the air and snaps, and you can see that actually as he goes towards you, his face, although most of it is human, that he does have like an almost animal-like muzzle, and he snaps at your tail feathers, catching the back of them and dealing 3 piercing damage. 3 whole fucking piercing damage.
she'll just like caw loudly at him and leave.
Okay. And he growls behind you, but doesn't seem to want to leave the abbot. And they both head back towards the door. And I would say, Carter, presuming that you noticed them early enough, you were able to probably shut the door again. Are you going outside or going inside? You're still
Yeah,
invisible.
I'll probably stay off to the side, let them pass through, and then try to make my way out because
Mhm.
they came back really fast, and I don't want to fuck up this whole thing for the
Right.
burgomaster and his family.
Yeah.
There.
Then they head back
Curiosity
inside.
is killing, but it might
Right.
involve killing.
Speaking of curiosity and killing,
Uh-huh.
seeing that there's a little area over here that we haven't looked at yet, Cray's
Mhm.
gonna send Kitty running
Mhm.
over there, and as soon as he sees the cat through the snow, he's going, "Oh fuck, Kitty, get back here!" And he's gonna go chasing after it.
Okay. All right.
We're the worst.
You appeared the other guy who has been keeping an eye on you is actually probably would have followed the abbot. Well, no, because he's supposed to be on guard duty, so he'll probably still be here. Um, so he kind of like growls at you but doesn't follow you. Over here, you enter into an area that appears to be a graveyard of a sort. There are stunted pine trees that are kind of growing out of the rocky earth near the foundation of the abbey's wing, the lower wing. Um, the windows of the structure are like cracked panes of leaded glass. There's ancient gravestones here bursting from the thick crust of snow in the yard. And beyond the low wall that surrounds the graveyard, the ground falls away.
Hmm.
And you can kind of see through the breaks in the stone, through the kind of windows ish. They have a little bit of like windows. You can see glimpses of Kresk down below the hillside.
Oh. Um.
Um,
Right. I'm gonna come up, pick up Kitty, and just branch him and pet him. Take a long look around and kind of see if I can find anything, all while pretending that I'm still hunting for a cat. So he'll just be like, "Come
sure,
here,
roll.
Kitty. Come here. No, no, don't, not that way. Don't." And all while looking
uh,
around.
Sure. Roll. Are you like digging through? Or are you just kind of perusing? What are you trying to find? I
Yeah,
suppose.
he's taking in just a general like idea of whether or not any of these graves look interesting to him or would trigger any like other things he's learned in Barovia, like in regards to the silver dragon.
Sure.
Yeah, anything like
Roll a perception check or an investigation, I suppose for you. Yeah,
this. Yeah, that's what I want. It's still only a 16.
that's fine. It there's not a lot of hidden things, but you do the grave that you're actually standing immediately in front of does catch your interest. The gravestone in front of you seems to be a little bit more elaborate. It's carved with roses and seems to bear like a 3-inch diameter sun-shaped indentation on one of the sides. And as you crouch down in front of it and brush off some of the snow from the tombs, the marker, engraved beneath the indentation of this sun is the name Petrovna.
Mm.
Um, it seems to be a little bit more elaborate than the rest. It seems to be special in some way, although you don't
Uh,
recognize anything beyond that.
the Burgomaster insignia thing I picked up in Velaki doesn't look like it's not the same shape, is it? I haven't seen anything that would fit that indentation.
Which thing are you referring to
I'm
from
guessing it
Velaki?
was something I looted while we were in the attic of the Burgomaster's. I just said Burgomaster insignia worth around 100 gold. But it's there with
No.
the potion of giant strength and the yeah. Have I seen anything that would match that iconography? Like, is that on Carter's Sun Sword? Did Discord do the thing?
Actually.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, sorry. I'm just really quickly double checking because now we've been playing this for a while and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't, but let me double check.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I get it.
Actually, roll an intelligence check for me.
I'm cool with that.
Mhm.
16.
Okay. It's similar. It's similar to the one that you got from snooping around the burgomaster's wife's thing.
Mhm.
It's not exactly the same, but it seems to be a derivation of it.
Have I seen anything on Felix that would look similar to the one that I got from the one in Valaki? Because if he's a
Mm,
burgomaster here,
no, you do not.
right?
Um, hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, none of Felix's symbology. In fact, he doesn't really strike you as a particularly religious man. But 16, yeah, nope. Nope.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Tempting.
It does remind you somewhat of the burgomaster's wife in Valaki. There's
Who's she?
definitely a resemblance, but beyond that, you're not sure what the connection might be.
Who, like, physical resemblance of her to the portrait of the woman that's on here, or
There's not portrait of the woman. It seems to be too old for that. It's more of like an engraving of that sun-shaped
okay,
insignia, whatever it
okay,
is.
that's what I thought I heard. Okay,
Yeah.
Was she
so
religious? Do you
yeah,
remember?
did she have iconography?
With actually, you know what? No, with an intelligence of 16, something in the back of your mind seems to recall back when you were having dinner with the burgomaster in Valaki. Lydia married to the burgomaster at the time, but she had a brother whose name was Lucian, who was the priest of
I
the
remember.
Morning Lord chapel that was eventually attacked.
Yeah, great. Didn't we take? Oh God, didn't we have his stuff? Oh, so,
Been a while. I don't
yeah.
remember.
Like I know
Mhm.
he died.
Right. Well, he kind of got like incinerated or something, didn't
Yeah,
he? It
he
was only like
burned
his
in the.
shadow.
We never went. Oh, no, we did explore the church, but we never. I don't think we ever
His
found
body
his
wasn't
stuff.
left there. It was kind of
Yeah, it
like
was just that
burned into the
shadow.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I'm assuming it just has to do with the Morning Lord stuff, because this
yeah,
is the Abbot of the Morning Lord.
yeah. I'm just wondering. It gives off some. It's making my brain tickle like a keyhole. But after spending 5 or 10 minutes over here, he'll walk out looking like he's tired but satisfied with the cat in his hands.
Okay. The other guy who's still wrapped up in the cloak and seems to have been keeping an eye on you just kind of scowls but doesn't do anything else. Seems to be waiting for you to leave more than anything. But in this moment of time, I would say, Carter, would you have made your way back to them?
Yeah, I've been waiting
Okay.
just to see.
Okay.
As long as I can slip on out, he'll slip on through.
Okay. I would say, yeah, it would be pretty simple for you to do so. And Des, if you are going to be flying back to the group then, or...
Yeah, she'll head back to the group.
Okay.
Crail just kind of hold the cat in his hand, look at the guy, and go, "Cat's crazy." Anyway, thanks for letting us visit. And start making his way out. And start
Okay.
shouting, "Carter, you done pooping yet?" Out into the woods. Pretend like that's where you've been the entire time.
The
And we'll make
burgomaster looks extremely relieved with this series of events. He has been mostly silent because he hasn't wanted to tip off anything, about this going awry. But as soon as you guys start moving back towards the exit, he lets out a huge sigh of relief and quickly slips back out after you guys.
your town and your family were top priority, but we were trying to get as much information as we could.
I really do appreciate that. I really, really do.
I think I'm gonna have to
Thank you.
break in here at night.
Immediately, the burgomaster's relieved face just goes tense again, and he goes,
Why?
"As long as as long as we're not related in any way, shape, or form.
No. That's
Please
why we
don't
didn't.
try your
Yeah,
luck.
no. You're fine. You're fine. Trust me. I have a. Anyway, let's head back down. I guess we go back down the mountain, and then we can
Okay.
discuss what we're doing next.
All right. You trudge back down the mountain. Man, look at you guys being so careful and
Definitely careful.
I
I
thought
tried
about it. I
fireballs.
was
No,
like,
I'm kidding.
"Look, I don't have time. I don't have time to plan. I need somebody to distract him. There, go.
Right.
Fuck.
Great idea.
Speed, go help. Go help. So what? Invisible. All right.
yeah. So you guys head back down the mountain. The trek back down is significantly easier, especially because of the fact that you've cleared most of the snow.
I fly all the way back down and wait for them,
Okay.
so I don't have to climb down the mountain.
Okay. Savid tries to lure you in a couple of times by being like, "Hey, you can ride on my shoulder. I can put you in my hood. It might be warm. No? All right."
I'm just giving him, that look in animes when somebody's trying to get in favor with their crush and their friends in the background.
Cray has Dust's boots out of the bag of holding, and he's stuffing snow into them.
Rude.
Out from under the multiple coats, Dumas just goes, "Why'd I have to come again?"
Because you're part of the team, Demas. It's important that you join us.
I guess that does make me feel better.
He just puts both hands behind his head. The fuck was up with that grave?
What'd you say?
Just something about the Morning Lord, but there was just something, I don't know, there's something about the grave, like nothing that I could explain to you, but it just makes my brain say something.
Oh.
He just nods, like everything he just said made sense.
Just smile and wave. Just smile and wave.
But yeah, where do we go next?
You guys head all the way back down the mountain and presume go back to the house.
Yeah, it's probably mid-afternoon.
It's late. Yeah, you probably arrive. It's not evening. It's only like 4 or 5 o'clock, but the sun's already going down because even on the demo plane, winter's a thing as well. So you guys arrive more or less at night.
Suppose we could trouble you for one more night stay on your common
Felix
room.
immediately just goes, "Oh, no, this is no trouble at all. In fact, this is wonderful news."
I thought it was just like straight up just no.
I promise
No, get
I
the
won't
fuck out.
break
You
into
have
the
to
Abbey
go
tonight.
Listen
Absolutely
to me.
not. You are not welcome here any longer.
You have served
it
your
would have been a
purpose.
fair response. It would have
Right?
been like I wouldn't have been it wouldn't have been completely uncalled for.
You're like,
He just kind
fair.
of goes, "Listen to me. I owe you my child's life, and all I ask for, all that I really can ask for, and I know that this is already too much, is that you do not cause too much of a disturbance. In fact, if you'd like, I can try to look for a house somewhere and try to refurbish it so that you can stay here for as long as you want. I can't guarantee that it'll be ready immediately, but there is definitely something I can do if that is within my power." And
I feel like we were very reserved with our snooping this session.
This was actually we were very well behaved.
yeah, you were. I expected shenanigans far worse than this.
He didn't talk to me nearly as much. He just noped.
He didn't talk to us at all. We didn't
Great.
even get to ask.
Nope. He just
You
turned
guys
around and walked
gave
away.
him you guys gave him what he needed, and he was like, "Well, my job here is done."
Right?
Bye.
All right then. Sure. We'll just leave that. Walk us, I guess.
Right?
But no. Yeah, we were behaved. We're not trying to repeat Velaki.
Yeah.
And Kresk, while cold and kind of miserable, is better than Barovia town.
Right? It's the nicest besides the snow
Hey,
place that we've ever been so far.
I got a question. Is there a tavern here in town?
The burgomaster kind of like makes that sound where you suck air through your teeth and just goes, "Oh, trust me, we would love one. Unfortunately, everyone sort of keeps to their own and makes their own liquor for the most part.
Tavern.
There used to be a tavern, but it's yes, it's closed down quite a ways away. There's really no visitors, so not really any reason for everybody not
Cray,
make their own moonshine."
We
Cray
stay in the
reaches in.
tavern.
Yeah, Cray reaches into his bag and pulls out his little chest that he keeps all of his gems in. It takes out the biggest one he has, which is the iridescent stone. It's worth about 500 gold. And he hands it to him and goes, "Take this. You use this to fix up that tavern, and give that to us. Use the money from that. Obviously, you're gonna find someone to buy it. You know what? Here,
The
how about this?
burgomaster
And I
is
take the stone back.
frozen.
I take the stone back, and I put the stone away, and I take out my pouch of gold, and I hand him 350 of it. It's
He
like, start with that, and when you need more, let us know.
he looks at you and you can see like tears swelling up in his eyes. This is
But
more
we want
money
your
than he has
decrepit tavern.
ever seen. He has ever seen in his entire life. He's like, "I will do literally anything. This is far too I and he quietly making that noise, he turns towards his wife, who looks at the gold, like screams just a little, immediately like takes it from him and goes, "Do whatever they what are you doing standing there? Go, move. What did they ask you to do? Do it." And just
We
like
want your
rushes
decrepit tavern.
upstairs.
Yeah, just go make it livable, and then we'll fix it from there. But if we can
I
live there, yeah, we'll live in a tavern. That sounds great.
Right? Hell yeah.
he immediately just goes, yes, it right away, and he just like busts out of the house. It is still dark outside, but he just leaves.
Cray just looks around and is, I hope nobody minds they spent the we still have more, you know.
Dust turns back from a raven into herself. Just, does that mean we own a tavern now?
I think so. I mean,
Hell yeah.
we need to get the deed, but
True.
also, and he
One
starts
thing.
fiddling with the insignia. I think having this means I'm Velaki's burgomaster now, and he's like flipping it and catching it.
I mean, we unofficially made Erwin and his wife the burgomasters of Velaki,
Yeah,
but they
obviously
kind of
the
disappeared
whole
apparently.
legitimacy of the deed didn't survive scientific testing. Perhaps this, and he kind of holds it up and just looks at it. He's like, perhaps this will.
I'm
He
sure that's
just kind
also
of
how it works.
shakes his head.
That's also fair.
Also, Des is still just standing naked in the
Yeah.
house because she
Oh,
turned
did
back
you
into-
transform back?
I did.
Roll me a wisdom check to transform back. This is your second time
You have
transforming
to
back,
try.
so
Oh no. Oh god. Okay,
the
great.
DC will eventually go away. Eventually you'll be able to do it.
No,
You
guess
just
I'm still a bird. Oh no. Did I make
no,
it?
actually 10 just did it. You've transformed back
Yay!
before, so
Alright,
DC
cool.
was 10 this time. Just barely. You have to try. So for a while you have a raven hopping around the the floor just going and just like fluffing up intensely.
You gotta want it. You just gotta want it.
She
Eventually-
uses the mimicry to mimic the sound of like grumbling.
Eventually you poof back into your old self and you are indeed naked.
I did it!
Job.
Look, Savid, she did it.
Stavid is very distinctly not looking, but he claps anyways.
Oh, Des, I think Savid is embarrassed.
Why?
Why
I'm
don't
not.
you go up to him and find out?
Svid throws whatever the nearest item of value is at you. Hold on.
Really hope it's his
Venus.
sword. It'll be his sword. A mug.
Shucks the sword.
A plate. Craze cat.
Yeah, he essentially just grabs. Yeah, where is Kate? Yeah, he grabs the cat and just like attempts to chuck it with terrible results.
Can I like try and catch it?
Sure, I mean he didn't chuck it very well. It's a
It also
cat.
has wings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
just sort of
throwing a
like
piece of paper.
just starts hovering there in the air with these little like butterfly wings going super fast.
Yeah.
Oh, Savid, you hit me.
Wish I did. Shut up.
Wait, Seraph, why am I supposed to ask him? He can hear me just fine from here.
He's making. You know what? It's just funnier.
Anyways, goes Savid and claps his hands together decisively. That was a great talk we just had. How about some dinner and then maybe we can go look at this tavern that you've purchased.
He's got to fix it up first. I trust him.
If we own a tavern and we like find alcohol, can we sell it?
I mean,
Sure.
don't you guys know where the best alcohol is?
Yeah, but they're kind of still working up to that,
Yeah, but we know the guy who's helping build
right?
up the vineyard, so
Once
you know
once they get stuff, then we can sell it, I
they're
guess.
gonna have to change the name from Wizard of Wines to Druid of Wines. It's just not accurate anymore.
I mean, they've got a lot of branding put into that. I don't know.
That's
You could
true.
ask.
That's true. Anyway,
It can be an offshoot.
tomorrow though, what
What
are we
are we
doing?
doing?
I mean, Arena's still out there somewhere.
We have to go to dinner.
We have
I
to go to dinner
guess.
with the big guy.
I kind
So,
of can only put it off so
oh
long
yeah,
because
you haven't heard
apparently.
about this one yet, have you? No, we've been
Oh.
invited to sit down with the man himself at his castle at our earliest convenience, which we've been
Oh.
putting off for several weeks.
And I apparently owe him something, and that's not great, I don't think.
Wait, have you
What?
actually told everybody that you owe him?
I don't know, but if I haven't, she did now.
I don't think you have.
So
Wait,
yeah, Savid also looks up at that and goes, "Wait, what?
What?
You
why do
you
wh-
owe what?"
Yeah, why does he think you owe him something?
I don't know.
How do you know you owe him some? Have you been talking to him? Dad?
No.
Roll a deception check.
That's not bad.
Not bad. Did I say, oh, I meant we have to go talk to him because he sent us a letter and like we owe him to go there because he said so.
Insight?
Yeah, I guess.
You can insight against a 17.
Let's see. Alright, well,
I
I
did
get
not
my
terrible for once.
You did, yeah, you
You're gonna
did.
get like a nat 20 or
19.
19.
Yeah, Gray, you've been around us long enough to know that something's fishy. She's got that
Does
guilty look again. You know that
does
one.
she look guilty or afraid?
That's a good question.
Both? Cray reaches into his bag of holding and takes out a gem and says the word speak and casts a zone of truth on everybody.
All right.
Well, that's
So-
The room,
unfortunate if you
the
have
house is not big.
exhaustion penalty for the save to not be able to Lie. Yes.
That is very true. Everybody roll a. Is it charisma? I forgot. What's the
I
truth?
honestly, I have never used the gem of rightness, so this is more Damas magic going on. I don't know how this is gonna work.
Not even Damas knows how Damas magic works. You're in a clear. Yes, you
So
must make a charisma saving throw. What's
Right.
the? Did I put a DC on there?
You might have. Let me.
I don't know, did you?
I pinned them. Why? Oh no. Wait, no. Why are all the pin messages gone? Always. Oh no, they're there. Okay.
It does not have a DC. I will use probably. And do what's Dumas's spell save?
A 22. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
No.
we all fail.
Well,
I'll
the
just
only one that
say.
really matters is hers.
Yeah.
Like we can all fail and it's fine.
I'll say the spell save DC just to make it simple is 15.
Neat.
All right.
Wow.
So I'm the only one that
Great.
passes.
Yeah. The only one that passes is.
The other
For Yux, can we
sorcerer.
pull Savid and Damas into this as well?
Oh yeah,
just,
they're getting.
Mhm.
They're
just,
getting.
just to preempt this in case they participate.
Watch Savid roll a nat 20.
Savid goes. I need this.
Oh.
Wow.
-1.
Oh.
So
There's a reason he's
charismatic.
awkward.
Oh,
Dumas
dude.
saves against his own
Dumas
spell.
made it. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense. Great. So now that that's done, and we all have to be honest, what's going on, Des?
I don't know.
That's truthful enough.
She doesn't entirely know, and that was a broad question.
What do you think is going on?
That we have to go talk to Strahd.
I mean, in regards to you owing him.
Mm.
Savid leans forward. Did he say? Wait, hold on. Back up. Did you talk to Strahd?
I think you can only answer one question at a time, Savid.
Yeah.
All right, then maybe answer that one.
Possibly.
So that's a yes?
I think that's a yes. I think that's about as evasive as she can get yes right now.
Kind of just buries
Right.
his face in his hands and
I mean,
slumps
we
downwards.
know that she has magic that lets her talk long distances. We've used it for benefit of the party in the past. And I hope you know that we're just doing this so that everyone here can help you as much as we can.
From the gem, you hear a familiar voice radiating out, going, "You're right." From
Forgot
the
that's how it
corner,
works.
Dumas claps his hands.
I give him a thumbs up.
He gives you a thumbs up back.
When you spoke with him and he mentioned this deal, what else were you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, we. Hi, Dante. What?
He's like, you okay?
He's also
You
upset.
alright?
No, he's just gonna come and
Dante's
step all
also
over
in the
my
zone of
laptop.
truth.
Yes, you must speak the truth. I mean, we did stuff for him, and I thought maybe we could get him to do stuff for us.
I mean, that sounds about right.
He didn't like that, and
You're right.
I owe him for something that I never agreed to. But
You're right.
Alright, well that's comforting. So you never agreed to it.
Well, okay. Yeah, okay.
I
I suppose I realize now that technically Strahd's not in the zone of truth, so it's not really anything that this gem can ascertain in one way or another.
It's true. That's fair.
Just when she just crosses her arms, also, still naked. But
That's right. You just never bothered
this
to get
entire
dressed.
conversation.
Yep.
But
Oh my god.
she just crosses her arms and glares and just. So when I came back, or when you tried, it didn't work. And then I guess he made it work. And so apparently I owe him for that, even though
You're
he
right.
said that it was, I can't remember the exact what he said.
Yeah.
I can't personally
I
remember.
remember. But now Cray knows.
Yeah. But he said there didn't have to be a payment at that time. And now I owe him. That's bullshit.
Wait, Sabi just kind of pipes up again and goes, wait, you said he said at that time? So there might be a payment in the future.
I
Or
think that's what
now.
he is talking about now.
It's the now.
But he didn't tell me what he wants. He just said that we gotta go and talk to him. Because he's a jerk.
What do you mean that's right?
So you want to go into that castle. The castle that nobody comes back from. Alive. Or
I'm pretty
whole.
sure we're gonna be going there anyway.
We are. We're gonna go there next. Damas and Savid, why don't you guys stay here and help with the tavern? Because it's too dangerous up there for both of you.
What? Savid, for the first time in forever, looks extremely put out about being left out. He goes, wait, you're suggesting that you take her into the lair of the devil and just, what, deal with it? Have a conversation with him?
Who's her?
Cray looks him straight in the eyes, and with the most stern face, he just says, "Yes."
Right.
I know you're all crazy, but this is madness. He'll
Listen,
kill you. He'll do
You're
That's
something
the
more than
worse.
welcome
only
to join
way.
us.
Right now, he could be asking for anything. The only way we get any answers is that dinner. He could ask her to jump to the moon and bring it back to him, and that's obviously not going to happen. Or he could ask her to go do something that we already are going to be doing because we know he wants her back too. So it might not be a terrible thing, but the only way we're going to know is if we do it. And staying in limbo and not knowing what we've signed up for is not a good place to plan from. We're a step behind him. He's a step ahead of us right now. And he has been for a very long time. We need to at least catch
Carter
up.
looks over at Damas and is just like, we know it's going to be a bad thing. You know, right?
Dumas is like, yep.
Thanks, Tomas.
There's good people here. Tomas, I'm sure you could find some use for your crazy wackiness here in Kresk, and Savid, you should be safe. The walls will keep out any of the Vistani bandits that could compel you to return to your people, and you'll both be able to stay here where we'll know you're safe.
Right, but that's me and him. But what about you? What about her? And he points to Des, now seemingly unconcerned with the fact that she's naked, as his other issues are more forefront.
What about
It's
us? We have to go.
That's what we signed up for. When we took this on and we decided to try to make a difference here, we signed up to put our lives on the line. Right? Everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, he says.
I mean, some of us have already crossed that line and come back. So,
You can always try to cross it again with his help.
It's probably gonna happen. I'm sure eventually this is gonna come to blows. I don't think it's
Yeah.
gonna happen right now.
I mean, I
But
died easily enough without him.
yeah, well, we almost finished that. That's the whole other deal we gotta deal with. But I think first things first, Castle Ravenloft.
So you're not even going to take the smaller, reckless thing and maybe go check out the creepy Abbit guy?
Nope,
I think we've been stalling this long enough.
we haven't. And the only things that we could do up there right now endanger the people of this town. We have to separate ourselves from their leadership and become our own entities here before we can start to fuck with him so that when he retaliates, if he does, it's at us and not them. Right now, we can't do anything while we're staying here under the Burgomaster's roof. It's too much of a liability for him. And with his
And
family just coming back together, not risking that.
and now that includes you two as well.
Yeah. You both will be safe here as long as we don't fuck with anything. And that means a lot. That's worth not fucking with it, at least.
Sabine kind of looks at Dumas, and Dumas looks at Sabine, and for the first time, they seem to be exchanging glances that are not accompanied by throwing something at each other or trying to claw each other. But they seem to be unusually severe. They just kind of Sabine looks at the table, looks back at Des, looks at all of you in turn, just kind of sighs and buries his face in his hands again.
You two will look out for each other. I trust that.
Right. Well, we can stay out of trouble. At least I know this one can. For the rest of you, you seem to willingly go into trouble wherever it is, chasing it down.
Somebody has to. And, you want to own a tavern one day, sometimes you gotta fight dragons.
Kind of glances at Seraph and goes, "Are you really all right with following them into this madness? Into this plan? You just got here. Don't
Well,
you have anything to say? Logical?"
my
Everyone's still
whole
under the zone of truth, too.
my whole
Yeah,
mission
that's true.
was to, free this land. Whether it happens sooner or later, and whether I die because of it, c'est la vie.
You don't care if you die?
Things are worth dying for, Savid.
Yeah,
Also,
but also lots of people have already
apparently,
died.
and their souls are stuck here. So if we die,
Alright.
then we just try again. Right?
That is the worst
I know
way of
I will.
looking at a truthful situation I have ever heard.
There's no way out, Savid. There's no way out in life. There's no way out in death.
Only through.
I really thought that I could complete the rest of my life just quietly living in my little hovel, not bothering anyone. And then you all idiots came in and got me out and made me care about things again. And fuck, wasn't supposed to say that. I mean, I don't care about any
You can't lie.
of.
You can't lie, Savid.
Ugh. He just kind of becomes quiet again, realizing that he's just shooting himself in the foot.
That's been great. Honestly, the two of you have made this place bearable without having the craziness that you bring to, our little group here. This place would just be desolate and boring. It's people like you who've been stuck here far longer than we have that we're trying to, you know, do all this for. I mean, I'm also trying to get the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. It's terrible. But I'm going to find a way to get everyone out because it's that terrible.
Honestly, I feel like you should turn that back to yourself because This place was pretty unbearable until you almost stabbed me in that castle.
Good times.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but it's actually sort of fun now.
Yeah.
But it's stupid. It's stupid. Just to be clear, I still think it's stupid. That's true. It's true because yep.
No.
And the gem
that
is just
one.
at this point going, "You're right."
No, and the gem's right, and you're right, and it's very stupid, but that's kind of what we do.
Savid, if you're so concerned about us, why don't you just tag along?
No.
Because we don't want him to
We
come
don't-
along.
Yeah, no, Seraph. He needs to stay here. Both him and Damas. One, so that they can look out for each other. Because I'm pretty sure that Savid's level-headedness will keep Damas from going wild magic and getting himself kicked out of the town, while Damas's personality will keep Savid alive, I'll say. At least living and not just surviving. So I think they need to both stay here. And if this tavern is somewhere that we could get livable soon, that gives them a safe place that we know they'll be at. And
And we can't bring them with us.
no, not here. We'll take you to the, highest mountains here in the land, but we're not going to take you to that castle. Neither one of you.
Savid at this point has probably grown very quiet and is just quietly staring at the table with his hands folded in front of his face. Dumas, while also thoughtful, is just kind of more or less looking between all of you. He seems to be all right going with this plan for the time being.
He'll pick up the gem of rightness and put it back in his bag of holding. Having
Is
said
it
what
10
he said.
minutes? How many?
It's 10
how
minutes.
many?
It's been definitely 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
10 uses, right? Oh yeah, you've already used
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but I think I've used it. No, I think that was the first time I used it.
That was the first time, yeah.
Yeah.
So, we're decided?
I'm decided. What does everyone else think? We all have to agree.
Sure.
Your life's as on the line as anyone else here, Carter. You good?
So what?
Your life's on the line here just like anyone else's. You good?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everybody's already got their mind made up. So if
Alright then.
if we're dead set on doing it, still don't think it's a good idea even remotely. But
I
might
don't
as well
think
get
we
it
have-
over with, I guess.
I just don't think we have a choice.
I mean, there's always a choice. We always have a choice.
Oh, we'll have choices to make. And we're not going to go in there unarmed, but why don't you send him a message and let him know we're ready to meet?
Yeah.
Send a wagon to Kresk in the morning.
She just looks at everybody and then nods, and I will cast sending
Mm-hmm.
to Mr. Man.
To Mr. Man. Okay. 25 words.
Yeah. All she says is, "Hi, Strahd. We're ready. Send a carriage to Kresk in the morning."
Right? There's only a very brief pause before you hear the voice responding to you, almost as if he was waiting. Just kind of chuckles and goes, "Wonderful. I will most certainly do that, and I look forward to your arrival." And that's it.
She looks at everybody and nods.
Just nods
Well-
back, and he takes out a bottle of wine and starts passing the bottle of wine around.
All right.
Sarah
All right. I
takes
think
a
this is probably a
swig.
good place to end.
Yeah, this will be a good place to end it.
Good place, good time.
Oh man, you guys
No.
avoided so many shenanigans. What's going on? It's like I don't even
I
know
hate
you.
We can't lose another town. We can't. It's cold and it's frozen and there's no magic item shop. But damn it, there are
There's
people
also
here
no
that aren't
vampires.
zombies. Yeah, there are no vampires.
Gives us some work.
And if we fuck that up, well, yeah. So if we go in half cocked, like we were just gonna fuck it up. And I'm so glad that we got.
Again.
I mean, we all did a little bit of digging in our own way, but just nothing intrusive. We just were like, hey, look, I'm gonna go over here, and what the fuck is this?
Yep.
Yeah, that was great.
Excellent.
Alrighty.
Cool. Well, we'll leave you off
Dun,
with
dun,
passing
dun.
around a bottle of wine, which
I have a question. Was
Mhm.
getting the dress a milestone?
Delivering it.
Unfortunately not. There
Aw.
could have been an encounter there, but you guys did not do shenanigans, so unfortunately you will be
If
going
we'd
to
killed the
Ravenloft.
abbot.
Yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily killing, it's just that you avoided quite a bit.
He didn't talk to.
He didn't. No, he didn't. You didn't really get his attention. You gave him what
I
he
tried. I
wanted.
was like, nope, that didn't work. Yep.
It's up to you guys.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, we got to get this done first. This has been hanging over our heads for far too long. This is time, and
Oh, Strahd is a patient man.
yeah. But now you have
We
plenty of
can't
warning. You
ignore
know
it
exactly where we're
again.
going next week. So.
I know. I am actually very thankful because holy
Yeah.
shit, I've been occasionally looking at Castle Ravenloft maps and going, "Oh no, oh
Oh
no,
no.
Yep. That sounds
I
about
don't
right.
want."
Well, too
Oh
bad. Here
man.
we go.
Here we go.
Oh god.
Oh
Oh, it takes so long to load. There's so much shit on it. I'm
man.
just looking at it. I ideally would want to
Can't
do
wait.
legacy lighting as well, but I don't know how to control it, so that's going to be fun. Oh no. If somebody
I
wants
also
to
I hope nobody minds spending the 300. I was like,
No?
I could give him 500 gold, but that'd be literally all our gold. Here's here's
I think
350.
we got a tavern for pretty cheap.
Yeah. Well, they were gonna
Yeah.
just give us like a house, and I was like, "Fuck, you have an old tavern that nobody owns. Just give us the deed to that and take this and like pay people to fix it up. Like here,
Right.
reinvigorate your economy with money that we
Right?
found at the Burgomaster."
That we may have stolen from the Burgermaster of Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, we are definitely a force of neutrality chaos. It's great.
I love it. I love it. It's good. It's good.
It was very good.
We'll see what happens, I guess.
Yep. All right. Well, that was a blast. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you guys for
Hell
playing.
yeah.
Sorry for the weird schedule. I believe next week we should be able to play same time without issue. But
Yeah.
let me know if something comes up. I'm glad everybody's feeling
Good.
better.
Right?
Yeah. Me too.